I need to remove some of these damn videos. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Geeks podcast. It is Wednesday, October 27th, and it is 2021. The year is almost over. That's right. I can't believe 2021 is almost over because I'm still processing 2020. Holy shit. Joining us is we have a very special guest today. Before we go ahead and introduce our guest, let's go ahead and introduce our co-host. Joining us as always is the man with the plan, the Texas gaming hedgehog, the man that runs the skinny, the one, the only, Keyblade Sonic.
Hello there.
And also joining us is the next big thing, the infamous, the one that eats on the channel, the one, the only, yours truly, SJ.
Hi.
And joining us is a very special guest today. We're going to let her talk a little bit about herself today. I'm just going to introduce her. She is she's a very interesting, very awesome guest of ours. Shelby Scott, please welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Shelby Scott. I'm sorry, I can't talk today.
Thank you for having
My
me.
headphones are about to die, and that really threw me off because it's like that's why like it goes beep as soon as I start try to start the show. It goes beep beep beep, and it caused me to click on the wrong intro video. It's like, oh, that's Jason. Oh no, my headphones. I got about like 10 minutes left. So no, thank you. We don't have a skinny today, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about. It is what some of the kids are calling spooky season.
Yeah, the time you got to take a spooky.
Spooky season. Actually, I'm gonna change the format. Hold on, that way it's a little bit more.
Thank you. My face was way too big. That was freaking me out.
Yeah, it was throwing me off too.
What's with the shell game?
No. So thank you for agreeing to come on the show. I know. Yeah. The ransom notes worked.
Yeah.
Will you guys get back my cat now?
Oh my god. I'm not gonna say anything on the show. There's an inside joke about cats,
but she's making friends with mine. I can't break up the set now.
No, but thank you very much. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have your own show, your own podcast.
I do. My show is, one of my shows is Scare You to Sleep. It's a podcast where I read most of the time fictional horror stories in like a gentler voice with a lot of sound effects, like binaural sound effects to help you like go to sleep, but it's also like really creepy and disgusting sometimes. And I've gotten lots of letters about that. And I also have another show right now called Mediums. It's a limited series from Parcast on Spotify. And it's about spiritualism in like the early 20th, late 19th centuries. And in fact, an episode just came out today and I read like a transcript from an actual seance from like 1873. So that was fun.
Okay, when you said mediums, which I'm going to probably step away in a couple minutes to go charge my headphones and get my beats. When you said mediums, like, oh, I run a show called Mediums, the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, you do like the Ouija board stuff, like where they have the little thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm Mexican. We stay away from that kind of stuff.
Seance and all that.
Yeah, the closer you get to the pyramids, the worse things get. So we're like,
I get that. My dad's side of the family is Mexican, and it's the same way.
It's like, nope, we're moving. We just bought the house. Sell it.
Yeah, Kukui. Yeah.
Kukui. Like, no, because we were like, we were talking about spooky stuff, and everybody's all like, they were talking about, oh yeah, this is scary. I'm like, man, y'all want to talk about scary? We have the Llorona.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what the Llorona did? She drowned her own kids.
Yeah.
And apparently she's like,
and they're dead.
They're dead.
No, they're probably gonna die in a minute. But like, they would warn us like, hey, she's like Jesus. She's everywhere too.
Yeah, I would get that too. I grew up in a border town with a lot of canals, so it was like there was a lot of places where she could drown you, and it was like, oh, she's watching, and she can take you out back.
I want to give a shout out to some of our
Andrew Tate's on. Hey,
hey Andrew.
Zarek, Power TV, Brittany and Andrew Tate live. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Andrew, can I message you later? I want to have you on the show too. You're another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and do that right now since I have him apparently.
He's here right now.
I actually have a big idea for Andy too. I have something I need to email him about. That's a thing that I want to do coming up. So
there we
Andy,
go.
you have an email coming your way.
We should just have Ollie on the show. Just
you have so many emails coming your way. Yeah.
We'll just have everybody. We'll have a 10-minute podcast and we'll talk about favorite foods like snacks.
Yes.
Like, what do you like? Because people like YouTubers, streamers, podcasters, people like to eat. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah.
They act like
avocado.
Do you like because like you have people that are nervous, that are shy, that are introverts. Do you like bread? Like, hell yeah, I love bread. Shit.
Shelby bakes all the time. She always
do.
has amazing food she says she makes.
Yeah. See, I say no one knows if it's really good or not. No one's ever had it.
It's good. Like I cook. It's great. How do you know it's great? I can hold it down.
I'm alive, aren't I?
Right. Yeah, you're still here. You're still alive.
Yeah. I bet minimal hospital visits.
I bet even that burnt cake you made was amazing.
I'm gonna let SJ take lead this time. I'll be back, guys.
Okay, no worries. Love that bread.
Love the bread.
See, someone gets it.
Well, like, yeah, every time Shelby ends her show, she's always like, what did I bake this week? I made this or this or this. And I'm just like, you're making me hungry, Shelby, stop.
It started on like a whim. I was just having ADHD one week and I mentioned what I baked. And then I had a few people like email and message me and were like, that was really nice and comforting when you like talked about what you baked that week. And I was like, I guess I'll keep doing it because I do bake like once a week. So yeah, and I enjoy sharing it. It's nice to share with people, you know.
It's amazing sometimes how just something you just think on the spot can end up becoming, hey, people like it. Yeah, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
That echo is hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello.
I think you said, what was it? Maybe like 2 or 3. No, because we've had the Halloween episodes. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 episodes ago. You said you were making like banana bread.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so my mom and my sister always asked me to make banana cake. So everyone's always confused when I bring it to them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's banana bread. I was like, no, it's a cake. They're like, what's the difference? It's cake.
My mom makes banana cookies sometimes. And it's
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. And they're basically like banana bread in a cookie form, but they're amazing. And you put frosting on them. It's great. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That sounds delicious, actually.
So have you ever made anything and actually like, I don't do a lot of like shaped things. I don't do a lot of cookie cutter stuff. So have you ever made a spooky bakery item thing?
No, I'm the same way. I'm not very good at decorating and it's not a huge interest for me. I just like to eat things that taste good. I appreciate a beautifully decorated cake or cookie.
Absolutely.
I respect the artistry, but it's not for me. I don't have the patience.
It's hard.
It's hard. And I just want to eat it as soon as it's cool. Like you're allowed to eat it. It's, yeah.
I took a cake decorating class back in like 2011 and anti-science. And I made this really awesome like chocolate cake. It had like ginormous strawberries covered on top and I made it for my, I made it and I took it home because I had like a baking class. I was at that class for like 12 hours because first I had a baking class and then I had a cake decorating class. So I was always bringing stuff home for me and my mom. And my mom was like, oh, let's save the cake because your sister's coming in soon. And by the time my sister came into town, those strawberries had molded on my cake.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so sad. I like cried. Yeah. I was like, no, Mom, let's eat it now. She's like, no, let's save it for your sister. And I was like, Mother, look what you did to my cake.
I know. Oh, my God.
My heart.
I had to learn that the hard way, too. When you put fresh fruit or anything in a baked good, it's got to get eaten in like 2 days or it's gone.
No. Yeah. Hashtag RIP fruit.
Indeed. But
I can't believe we're still talking about food. I'm making me hungry.
I could
You were
talk
only
about
gone
food
for-
all day.
You were only gone for like a minute.
That's true. I put my beats to charge. I'm gonna give them like 15 minutes to charge.
All right.
That way I can switch.
All right, Peter. That's great.
It is spooky season. For those of you that don't know, Dia de los Muertos for the Latino Hispanic community is also coming up as well.
Yes.
If you don't know what Dia de los Muertos is, it's called Day of the Dead. It's essentially go watch Coco.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like the best way to
It's
do it.
good.
That's like the Cliff Notes version of the Little Horn.
Yeah, it's like
It
we
is
don't
fun.
feel like explaining it, so just go watch Coco.
It was fun. It's a fun movie.
Our Day of the Dead. It was the Book of Life, or what was it?
Yeah,
Book
but
of
Life, yeah.
Book of Life.
Mhm.
Okay. Like, but
But-
everybody says that Coco
It's more
actually
accurate.
does better job at explaining it than the Book of Life.
Mhm. But like in general, the Book of Life is pretty much like it has elements of Dia de los Muertos, but like if you want to know fully about it, it's Coco.
Yeah.
What about what is it? Encanto? I heard that was a good one too, but I'm not sure.
And what?
Watch out
Encan-
for people knows.
What?
Actually, side note for Pachinko, little side note. Us as the representative of all the cruises, we don't want them either. Right, Goku, if you know, you know, right?
Yeah, you know. Let's
man.
so we're talking about so I know we're talking about food. We're gonna
Our
talk
best.
more about food later.
Yes.
But I want to know because
Oh, it's coming out. I didn't know it was coming out. My bad. Okay,
Yeah,
never
yeah.
mind.
Encanto,
So
yeah,
that explains it. Okay, we're good.
oh, that's why I haven't heard of it.
it comes out in a few weeks in mid-November.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
okay.
So we'll see how that one does.
So, first off, we're going to apologize to you. I probably should have apologized to you before the show started, but I apologize to you that we couldn't do the show sooner. We were supposed to do it last week, I believe. We couldn't do it last week because some stuff happened with me and my family. We actually didn't do a show. Did my thing die?
No,
No.
we can hear you.
Okay, because like you talk a lot, so when you got really quiet, every time I start explaining stuff, you interrupt. I'm just messing with you.
I
No,
know.
but we're finally. It's finally good to have you on the show because when SJ got you, she's like, "Hey, I want to get this guest on here." I was like, "I'm kind of busy, not living on the streets."
What?
And so she kind of explained to us. I have ADD. I have all kinds of things wrong with me. So if it's not like said to me, I have a hard time like remembering things.
Mhm.
Same.
So she's like, "Oh, we have this guest," and she's like, "Oh, she reads spooky stories." And I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "I don't want to hear that shit." Not right before I go to bed. And then like that same day, I'm sitting on my bed watching short videos about like actual scary stuff, like serial killers and
Yeah.
people that snuck in the houses. I was like, "Oh man, that's weird and interesting. Let me watch these horror videos." Unreasonable.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that deep hole of the internet where it's like at 3 a.m. It's like, man,
Yeah.
how do they make bread like that shape?
Yeah, for real. I was watching those too. Like I was like, how the hell? They
Oh
made
my
like
God,
an
yeah.
entire cup of like hot chocolate with marshmallows and the strawberry, or no, I'm sorry, the chocolate syrup. And it looks so real, but they cut into it and it's a
And
cake.
it's a cake.
Cake.
Everything's a cake.
And it's
Oh,
like
It's
yeah.
a lie.
you fall asleep and you're about to fall asleep, but it's like 3 a.m. It's like, how do they make Jello color?
Yeah.
For real, like it's like 4 a.m, man. I should really go to bed early. And I'm looking up, and then I run into a nasty video about this guy that had a tapeworm, and next thing you know, I'm Googling it.
Oh yeah.
Alright,
I do that
tapeworm.
too. My middle
What
of
are
the
they?
night
What do they look
my
like?
middle of the night videos are like, this is the worst ingrown toenail you'll ever see in your life. You know?
Oh,
Watch them remove it.
Oh man, it reminds me of that one story by I can't remember his name. The squishy one. And of course
Oh,
you're
there's
like, which
so many.
squishy one? There's so many
Yeah.
ones. The pimple one.
Oh, the
Doctor-
pimple one. Oh yeah, I got emails about that one.
That cracked
I
me
got
up.
some strongly worded messages about that one. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned the trigger warning. That's not
I
your fault
did.
anymore. Yeah, that's on you guys now. Come on.
Yeah.
She told
I
you.
did.
If you're not
I
into
did.
that, just like
You know, and that
skip.
was before I was
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of trigger warnings before I knew to really do the trigger warnings. And that one I still verbally was like, this one's gross.
Yeah.
People still listened and they were very mad at me.
I think the one that gave me the most like chills up my spine was the smile.
Oh yeah, Nina.
That one
She's
was
got her own show
weird.
now where she's gonna read that story. And so you can listen to it all over again with even different grosser sounds.
That was great. And I listened to that right before I went into like one of my jobs. I was like, this is terrible for 8 a.m., but whatever.
That was one of the first times I really decided to like let loose, and I was like, I'm really gonna go for it with these sound effects. I'm gonna do it. And
You did.
of course I started with the teeth ripping. Yeah.
Oh my God. That was
Can y'all hear me?
yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
You ever
Headphones
Google a
finally
symptom,
died.
convince yourself you have the disease, and then you start
Dude,
getting all the symptoms.
Every
Yes.
time,
Oh, yeah,
especially when I
yeah.
had allergies. Especially when I had allergies. I thought I had COVID.
Oh my God. Just recently I thought I had parasites. I had convinced myself I had parasites. Everybody on fucking TikTok was talking about parasites, and I was like, I've got them. I have to. I've got them.
Mass
I had
hysteria.
that too. It was like when you're like developing like pain in your chest. I'm like, oh shit, am I having a heart attack?
Yeah.
And then I look up all the symptoms of heart attacks. Oh, my jaw isn't feeling so good.
Do I smell
Start panicking.
toast? Am I having a stroke?
Yeah, it's serious. It's
Yes,
like
parasites, candida. Yes, COVID, heartburn, heart attacks. Yep. Mm-hmm. Especially,
Andrew.
I'm sure people here have anxiety, and I do.
Mhm.
And when you're having a
Yeah.
panic attack, it feels just like a heart attack, or at least you think it does. And so that's fun. You're
Your
like,
heart
I'm,
is racing like.
Yeah.
and it feels like you can't breathe, and it feels like your heart is stopping. It's not. It feels like it is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does. It's, yeah, that's why anxiety and depression are, for lack of a better word, bitches, assholes. Bastards.
What'd you say?
yeah, you're lagging really badly.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it, John.
Andy, yeah, my
working
panic attacks
today.
feel like heart attacks for like definitely. I just had one the other day, and I was like, "This is it. Goodbye, everyone." It was so dramatic. Anxiety is so dramatic.
No, it really is. And we actually did a special for people with anxiety. Just, like, sometimes I have anxiety, especially if I get pulled over by a cop. Like I start shaking and stuff.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I start
yeah.
freaking out. It sucks, really. It sucks because, like, that's something that I'm not nervous, but like for some reason my anxiety just kicked in and I can't stop shaking.
Oh, the shaking is the worst when when the shakes kick in and your whole body is vibrating. I've tried to explain it to my husband, like what that feels like. And it's so hard to describe. So I'm like, no, you're like shaking. And he's like, oh yeah, like when you're cold or like this and that. And it's like, no, like it's like you're literally like vibrating and you can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna apologize to everyone if my thing isn't working. I don't know. I forgot to charge everything last night. I forgot to put everything to charge. Am I lagging again?
No, you're good.
Okay. I forgot to put everything to charge last night because we were playing Call of Duty, and I was talking to my friend because some stuff went down, and we're like, oh yeah, this, yeah, that. So we were like talking, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I should probably go to bed early. It's like 4. It's like 6 in the morning. Oh, I see the sun.
I mean, it is early. It's early for the next day.
You weren't wrong.
So I forgot my headset was on when I woke up at 10 in the morning. So I was like, oh crap. So I turned it off. And then I had to go out and run errands. And then I just simply forgot to put it to the charger. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that right now. Where did I chunk it?
Just go away.
Like, no, because like I'm upset. Like, oh man, how did I forget to charge it when we do the show today? And this is my more reliable headset. This is my actual good headset. I love this headset.
It's the best.
But they're the worst sickness. Yeah, as somebody that has anxiety, like if you know somebody with anxiety and depression, like even if the person says okay, just make sure you always reach out to them. You never know if they might need to. Even if they could push you away, but always just checking on them, and little by little they'll open up more to you. Because there are a lot of people that are judgmental towards those with mental health issues. Especially like if you grew up with like a family that's like, oh, you're just seeking attention, or you need to get over it. Or...
Definitely. I know that feeling.
Yes. It sucks. It really does. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about your shows. Before my headset had died, SJ was telling us about you, and that you read these stories. She made it sound like you were an author. So are you an author?
I am. I write some of the stories on the show. The show started out with just the stories that I had written. And then the show kind of blew up without my thinking it ever would. And I was kind of like, oh shit, I need to find stories from other people. That's when I started taking submissions. Because I thought I was going to be able, literally my first and second episode were like a month apart. Because I thought no one was listening. And I was just like, I can just release these whenever I have a new story. And then I got put on Apple's New and Noteworthy, which was an incredible luck of the draw. It was amazing. I didn't even know what it was. I don't have an iPhone. So I had to like ask around. I'm like, what does that mean? Is that good? And everyone's like, that's like really good. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. And they invited me, since I live in LA, I happen to live in LA, and there's an Apple here, like a headquarters here. They invited me down to have like lunch and everything. And I was like trying to hide my Android. like, yeah, I totally know what all this is that's going on here. But yeah, from there it blew up, and I started taking submissions, and it's been amazing because I've met so many people, so many cool authors, and like watched people grow and like gotten to promote. Like I've had authors who, since they've been on the show, they've either have them on the show again, and it's so cool to watch like this whole world. And yeah, it's just amazing. Plus I do some episodes that aren't that are non-fictional. Like I do a dark Reddit series. Well, I don't want to say it's nonfiction because who knows with Reddit, but yeah, but the dark Reddit series, and then I'll do some like true ghost story episodes and everything too.
You also do the weird death ones. I love those.
Oh, the weird death. Oh my God. I have someone who has emailed me, and I think his name is Chris. Chris, if you're watching, I promise I will do more of those. And I promise I'm not ignoring your emails. I've just been very busy. But has asked me a lot of times because I never finished that series. And I'm about to be not exclusive to Spotify as of, what's today? The 27th, as of the 30th. So I'm going to be exploring more of that type of stuff and doing more ASMR type stuff. Yeah.
Yay, no more being exclusive.
Yeah.
We're not gonna we are moving from video podcasting. We're also gonna do audio, so we're not gonna be like just video anymore.
That'll be good. Yeah.
I'm gonna step out for a couple. My family is here for some reason, and I need to go argue with one of them.
I was gonna say I heard some screaming.
I can hear it. Yeah.
It's a Mexican household. We don't. Yeah. Mexicans.
It adds ambiance.
That's great.
I can hear everything. I could hear your whole thing. So I think that's really interesting and really cool. It kind of reminds me of the fan fiction reading that we do, except that's more for shits and giggles.
We're terrible fan fiction reading. We read like terrible grammar, terrible spelling.
I love bad fan fiction. I could like sometimes I just pull up. In fact, it's been so long. I've been so busy, but I love just pulling up Wattpad and going in on some fan fiction. Like, I mean, the most recent one I read was like, it was Snape and Hermione, and they dress up, they go undercover as like Emma Watson and Alan Rickman, like they're real life actors, and they like dress like them. They're actually Snape and Hermione. Don't get it twisted. Right. And like, then when they come back to they fall in love with each other when they're undercover, but they don't realize it's them somehow. So good. By the way, spoilers, the way that Snape realizes that it's actually Hermione is because of the way she smells.
Oh my God. No.
It's not very goofy.
Thank you, Emily Graham, who said Shelby rocks in the chat. Thank you so much.
She does, doesn't she? Mm-hmm. That's our favorite one that we like to make fun of. Is it's another Harry Potter fic called My Immortal. I have not read
Immortal.
It. Oh, okay, good. So you know about it, yeah. So we don't.
We make fun of it a lot. Like
well versed in My Immortal with Red Street. Freaks in my black hair. Yes. Hmm.
Gothic? Nah, Goothic.
I wonder if sometimes these writers are doing it on purpose, or if like I don't know, because I know I have seen some fiction where the authors are clearly like, English is not my second language, and it's like, okay, I can forgive you. It's not my first language, so it's like, okay, I can
I know
forgive
what
that.
you meant. Yeah. Hmm.
But I don't know if it's like, are you doing this on purpose to be a bad fan fiction, or are you really just bad?
Either,
Is this
yeah, they
real? Like,
probably
is this
just-
earnest? Is this earnest? Like, yeah. No, I agree. Some
don't-
of them you read, like, I love the ones that are clearly some sort of like it's a daydream that they've had for them, like a fantasy daydream that they've
Yeah.
had for themselves, but they're just like putting pen to paper about it. And it's
Mhm.
like, I feel the cringe because it's like, I remember being 14 and having those same types of
Yeah.
daydreams and like fantasies,
Yeah.
but I never wrote them down. So you're brave for writing those down that
You
One
are.
Direction
You are
kidnapped you. And now you guys live on an island together. Like,
I love
good
it.
for you, girl. Like, I'm
Oh.
happy for you.
I love it.
Good thing you used a screen name and no one will ever be able to figure out this is you once, you're older. Lord of the fanfic.
I don't know if I can do that.
I haven't, that's one I haven't delved into is Lord of the Rings. There's so many characters. There's so many characters.
Yeah.
There are.
There was apparently there's a fanfic that's like related to like in Super Smash Brothers. Apparently that holds like a record.
No.
How does that work?
It's like
Yeah.
a shit ton of pages. I don't remember what it was called, but if I look it up, hold on.
As chaotic as the game.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's hilarious.
I've read a couple of. Okay, so my favorite thing is Transformers. I'm always talking about Transformers on the stream, but like, so my favorite thing is Transformers, and it's hilarious because at first I was like, oh yeah, here's like Transformers fan fictions. I wasn't very like picky with my stuff before, so I would just like read everything, and then I talked to more people, and they're like, well, at least do it like at a length or whatever, this and that. I like it to be like
Yeah.
at least a sizable chunk of a story. I don't care if it's a one shot, but like at least make it decent that
Okay.
or long enough to read.
I actually
And-
looked it up. Sorry.
Go ahead, cut me off. Go, do it.
All right,
Yes.
so the fanfic is called The Subspace Emissaries World's Conquest. It holds a record for 4.1 million words.
What? Wow.
So yeah, just as chaotic as the game.
Yeah, and it says here, you mean that Sakurai is secretly mastering the crazy hint? Nah, that's it's probably that, but there's also a theory that they say that the whole game franchise is actually in a point of view of an autistic person. Apparently, it's an autistic child's point of view because
Oh, like
there's
that
two-
old TV show.
the right hand and the left hand, which is like all crazy and I was like, oh wow, it's so surreal. Like these fanfics, a lot of them are pretty good. Some of them are just like they're in the entertainingly bad category, but some of them are really, some of them are like you could tell they put a lot of passion and work into this.
Right.
That
Yeah.
sometimes like my Immortal, I feel like that person wrote it so much, they were so confident, they're like sometimes the words could come out badly, but like if they read it, it's like, oh, it comes out good. Or
Yeah.
either that or like SJ said, they could be they're just doing it to mess around. It's like, oh, it's all funny. It became a joke and then since got big and became very goofy.
I mean, so many of them have turned into actual franchises. Like,
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
50 Shades, the Alive series, like they've turned into actual full budget movies, like,
Yeah.
Right.
so I don't
There's
blame
even
people for continuing to try and just putting all their all into it. Because who knows?
And also that, like, sometimes it would be to the point where even like what they wrote the story based on, sometimes they can get acknowledged, in like in a official setting. There'll be like cases where like they're doing one based on a show and the show can make a little Easter egg and like you have to like read the fanfics to actually understand it.
Well, it's kind of similar to like back in the early 2000s when like WB Kids and Fox Kids would do those contests where kids could make up characters.
Yeah.
And they were like, the best character will get their character drawn, and then we'll fly you out to California and you can voice your character in the show.
I forgot about that.
I remember like
yeah.
they also
Cubics did it. I think like Fighting Foodons did it. I don't know what else did it.
Also, there was a like in the mid 90s, Sega did a contest with Fox Kids. It was like, oh, create your own video game. Like if you have an idea for a game, we'll send you to Sega headquarters in San Francisco and make a game. And then it turns out someone actually won it, but nobody knows what the game is. Like what game?
Oh my god.
Because it was for Sega Genesis, and it came out like late in the Genesis lifespan.
Oh
so
yeah.
like, okay,
it got
it
buried
probably
with
is a
all
rare game, maybe.
the Atari ETs.
Yeah, for that game that came, apparently, ET, that game has a funny story. Like apparently it was developed within 6 weeks, so that's why the game ran pretty bad.
6 weeks.
Yeah, they were like, hey, the programmer got a call from the president. He's like, hey, we need ET and we need it by September 1st, and this was late July.
Oh.
You do it? He's like, all right, we get a good arrangement. I go on vacation after this game is out, and you won't see me for a while. And I'm like, wow, that's the ultimate goal.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, it's fine. I just was saying, like, there's a lot of stories where people put in their own characters, their original characters, and I used to be like okay with some of that. And then after a while, I just all of a sudden stopped reading anything that had like original characters, if they're like mainstream in the story, which is ironic because most of all I write is pertaining to my original characters. And it's based off of like me and my friends. So it's like, wait, that doesn't even make sense, but that's what I do.
Like, I'm a hypocrite and I'm proud of
terrible. Yeah.
No, it happens a lot.
It
a lot of
is.
people, it happens that way.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's but regarding your stories, I wanted to ask a question about this. Were there any moments where did you get any feedback like from like the audience, like positively or negative? Have you ever had any complaints or anything like that? It's like, oh, you should have wrote it this way instead of that way. Like,
yes. There's
Which one?
Okay, so Nuclear Flight, which is one that I don't know if you've heard that one, Rachel, but Nuclear Flight has to do with basically it's a flight that is going from, what did I do? I tried to find like the longest flight in the world. I think they were going from it's like Taiwan to Australia, something like that. I forgot which flight it was. It's been a while since I wrote it. But and basically they get word that everything, sorry if there are spoilers for anyone. I'm trying not to like end it, say the spoiler, but basically they start realizing that they can't communicate with the ground. They're freaking out, and they realize that there's all of a sudden, as they're flying over America, there's been a nuclear war. Like they see them in the way in the distance.
You put that on the show, right?
Yeah, and that's the one I get.
Yeah, I remember it.
It's like not complaints, but I left it on a cliffhanger on purpose because I just wanted to. I don't know. And people, I get a lot of emails like, when are you going to finish it? When's part 2 coming out? What happened? Like, what
There is no part 2.
And I'm like, no, it's like, you don't know which one they're going to choose. Because at the end, they kind of had 2 choices about what they're going to do.
Right.
And I kind of leave it up in the air up in the air. It's a flight. But,
I'll be back.
But yeah, I kind of leave it up in the air. And like, I got a lot of people who were like, well, I had a few people who were like, I'll just write it. I'll just write a sequel then. And I'm like, okay, you can. I'm not necessarily going to have it on the show, but if you want to write a fanfic sequel of this random story I wrote, then fucking have at it. And I'd love to read it. I'd love to see what you think happens.
Yeah.
And then I had one early on that was about orphans who were butchered for wealthy families to eat. I got a few complaints about that one. I don't know why.
I liked it. I was surprised at the end. That's hit me. I was like, what? But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
I liked that one a lot.
That
That one I feel like I could actually develop into a longer story eventually.
Yeah.
But a few of those, and like I haven't gotten a lot of complaints, to be fair, about my own stories. I've gotten a lot of really good feedback. I have gotten complaints about other stories.
Right.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky about my show or my stories that I've had on the show.
Oh, really? I would have thought like somebody would have complained about like, what is it? Frost. Well, I know you said you had some, not complaints, but they just, some people apparently weren't a fan of the Burnt Man.
Oh, the
Charred
Charred Man. Yeah, the Charred Man. Yeah, that one. God, I can't even remember what people said. That one's been a while. That was like episode
It was
3.
wow. 3.
It was like 3 years ago. So yeah. It's hard to remember.
I think
for the most part, I get the most complaints I get are from the things I say outside of like things I just say as me, not inside of the story.
Well, I think you said it was because
when I said. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think it's because you said you actually had your husband on, which was sweet. I liked it. I thought he added a little bit of a dimension to it.
Yes.
And people were like, they just wanted to hear you. And I'm like, I mean, yes, I'm here for you, Shelby.
It was more. I would rather it just be you talking. I'd rather it just be you, which is funny because I recently got on Instagram. I had someone who was like, and I've had this a few times. I haven't had it in a while. Was just like, I'm a little confused because it's just a girl talking. So you should really hire a man because I listened to a whole story and then at the end I realized it was a boy. And I was a lot sadder when I thought it was all these atrocities were happening to a girl. And I was like, why did it make it that much? So it's okay for all these horrible things to happen to a guy? Like, I don't know. It was just a really weird, and I was like, nope, sorry. It's more like, I'm just telling you a bedtime story. So you're stuck with my lady voice. And he was just like, it's like, what do I say to that?
Right. I was just saying, because you mentioned in one of your outros how someone sent you a story and it's like 10 characters, all dialogue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are a few stories. That's one thing. A lot of people ask what my guidelines are. And basically, I'm not a professional, cartoon voice actor. I'm all self-taught. I've gotten better over the years with voices, but I have my limits. If there's a room of I had one, it was like a cave or something. And there were 10 characters. It was a good story. It was a really good story. It was all dialogue. It was nothing, no position. It was all dialogue between 10 people. And I don't have the chops to pull that off by myself. People would be so confused. It would sound like maybe 3 people talking. I can do 3 okay voices that would sound, but I can't do 10. And so that's the only thing. And I really wanted them to know it's not about your story. It's about me. And that sounds like I'm breaking up with someone. It's not you.
It was great.
It's me.
Cheap plug. I do voiceovers if you need anybody to do voiceovers.
I was going to say,
I actually, that's one thing I was going to, and I have something very, early simmering, not even bubbling. And that's what I'm going to email Andy about. And it's going to require more than just me as a voice actor. So
yeah, I think you should do a couple of really special episodes with, a couple of other voice actors. But that's my opinion. It's your show. You do whatever you want. Shelby, I'm still going to listen to you.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, if you need one, let me know.
He's really good.
I think what SJ is you should consider, if you consider anybody, maybe consider Sonic.
You should.
Because she went with the whole generic. Here's some suggestions, but it's your show. Do what you want.
I'm being polite.
Yeah, but that's so at what point does that become an insult? Because you hear
cliche?
it so much. Yeah, it becomes cliche.
You're like a momager. It's fine.
Yeah.
Look at my look at my boy. Look at my boy, my talented boy.
Yeah.
Just have my face with Buck TV
Yeah.
Okay, so while I was gone, I heard Super Smash Brothers fan fiction.
Yes.
God damn it, Immortal.
Yes.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about
it. Because I read that, and every time I read it, I get headaches.
It's very goofic, right? Some goofic headaches.
And I thought that was the worst fan fiction of all time until Ecchi Expo, and they made me read some god awful fan fiction.
Yeah, my Immortal is definitely not the worst. I think it's just the
poorly
most
written.
Yeah, but it is readable, and I think it like for me anyway, it was so cringy because it tapped into my own high school cringe where I know I never wrote fan fiction, but in high school I definitely wrote some like vampire stories that tinged into the my immortal territory, like for sure. Like I remember one, she was like, I had to describe down to a T what her black leather dress looked like and like this and that, and like it was just like, oh my god, I think that's why it makes me cringe some written stories like this. Oh.
Yeah, that always happens. You ever look back, like for example, your Facebook memories from like 10 years ago? I was like, is that really who I was? What the hell?
You're like, I thought I locked that thing in that little box and buried it 10 feet under and then sent it off to sea and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like no one was supposed to find that.
Or it's like man, if I could time travel, I would punch my 10-year-olds 10 years ago. So
For real, like because I used to write. I wrote in high school. I wrote and I most of my stories was all dialogue. I never described what they wore. I would actually draw pictures of what they wore, but like as far as what they were wearing, they might as well have been naked because I never described what they
I can't draw.
It looked actually my story looked like a script, and somebody's like, "Is this a script, dude? What the hell is this?" So like, it's my story.
No,
that's cool.
Shut up. That's like the teen. I do episodes where I have kids send in, and I do one where I have teens send in stories every Halloween, and I almost feel like I'm contributing to these poor teens having these like immortalized forever. I was thinking that this last time. I was just like, oh man, some of these kids are not going to want to know these.
Some of these kids, you're not joking. I don't mean
they'll probably just be like for a while. Like,
the kids episodes are hilarious.
The kids episodes are so funny. Like
they're great. Because man, so like I said, I just caught up with the ones. I won't spoil anything for anybody if you guys want to listen to them. Mm-hmm. But I just love how like these kids and sometimes the teens, they just end it and it's like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, what happened? Yep. Yeah, sometimes it's like they'll end like in the middle of a sentence, and it's like,
I think you're taking like a dramatic pause, and then all of a sudden you're like, and our last submission is all like, what?
Yeah. Oh, there were a few. I can think of the ones in the teens. I won't name them, but there were a few I remember in the teen stories where I was like, should I add an ending? Like, nope. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna respect the artist and leave it the way that they wrote it.
And I'll go ahead and do it. I think it was like the last two of the kids ones this time.
Probably.
They just like ended it. It was like
ended. The first one of the kids, she at least said "I love you" at the end. So you're like, it's over. She ended it.
She ended it. Also, she was 4. That was impressive. I was like, there you go, kid. Yeah. That's how you start a story.
She was 4.5 too. If the 4.5-year-old knows how to end a story,
no changes.
Yeah.
No advice. You're good. Just keep doing you. Yeah. The rest of you, no.
What is your take on people writing stories and then ending them with a really big cliffhanger?
Oh, we were just talking about that. I do that, so I can't.
I know. I heard. I could hear everything y'all talked about, especially the Goofix stuff. I am always here just in case I need to run over here and shut down the show.
Might as well make that as a shirt, not just that. Make someone draw Goofy as Gothic and just put Goofy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
That's what
that needs to be your guys' first merch.
So I've been writing a story and I've been working on it for years. Mm-hmm. And like the first book, so when I was in high school, it had like, I don't know, like 15, 20 books to it because it was all over the place. It was like, it started off like the world ending, and then like the main something happens to the main character, and then they travel back in time, then they travel back to the future, then they travel in space. And I was like, I condensed it to 4 books, and I split up the main character's role into 3 main characters instead. And so
you actually wrote a series?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. I heard it. It's really good.
And it's so the first book ends. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but there's a vital character that gets killed at the very end, and the villain's like, it ends with the villain killing this vital character. It's like, you blinked, and that's how the story ends. Like, he just kills him and says, you blinked, as the person is like as the life as they're turning gray, and it describes it as like this person is just dying, and that's how the first book ends. And the second book actually goes into a different story without explaining anything from the first one, except for maybe some like little details here and there.
That sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've heard people say like, "Oh, you're an asshole. Why would you do that?"
Yeah, there's a big, especially in like the horror community, it's a big point of contention between people whether cliffhangers are okay or not. Because I know, horror tends to rely on cliffhanger endings to be like, the horrifying ending because you don't know, and then the killer opens his eyes at the end and blah blah. So like, I mean, I think they're fine. I think I have seen them not done poorly. I have seen them done poorly, but like, I think cliffhangers are absolutely fine. And I like stories that leave me with something to think about later. Those are the ones that I'm like, that was good, because a lot of times for me, stories or movies or things, I don't really think about if I really like 3 days later, because I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I did really like that, because I'm like still have questions, but like good questions. But there are times where cliffhangers are too cliffhangery, and it's like, well, I don't know what just happened. Like, I don't even care because I have so little information,
I think I know which one you're talking about with that one. I think I know which. It's the one that, what is her name? Because she keeps like sending you stuff. It was the Who's There one. You said that one gave you nightmares for like a week or something.
Oh, Tracy. Yeah. Who's There? That one. Oh my God. That one gave me nightmares because it was based on a true story too. It actually gave me legit nightmares. Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious because I think I heard that one, and then the subsequent episodes after that, all while I was in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida, on my way to Jew camp, and that it's literally a Jew camp. And
I like how you have to explain that every time.
I do, because you're like, I can't even say my name, so I have to say it's a literal Jew camp. It's a camp for Jews. I mean, not for Jews, but you can come. Other people can come.
It was fun. It's best for her to explain it, just in case.
But it was great because, I was over and I was words. Yeah, so I'm just alone in my hotel room and I'm listening to all these stories about people getting killed, even in their homes. And I'm like, looking at that door like any day now, any minute now. Yeah. Someone's going to come here and this is it. I'm done. No more Super Jew. Sorry, guys. Bye.
He wasn't super enough.
Yeah, home invasion stories, definitely. If they get to you, they really get to you because your whole environment becomes a dangerous place in your brain, Mm-hmm.
I don't like home invasion stories because I live close to the hood. Someone's always, especially around this time of year, people are always getting robbed and broken in. Their houses are broken into.
Yeah, same. I live in a pretty dangerous neighborhood. A lot of my neighbor's window got broken. Like his apartment window got broken, and then this other guy walked around the parking lot beating up a lot of the cars with baseball bats. Mine got saved. It was on the other side of the parking lot, so it was like,
what the hell? Why?
Yeah,
California.
I live in LA. It's
Yeah, I've been to California. There's a lot of places where it's like, okay, this just screams a crime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's like my hometown is down by the border, and it's literally used in movies as like shitty border towns, like, and it's in the desert too, so they use it as like the middle of nowhere, and like it's been in like Star Wars, the desert planet. That's
Tatooine.
Was filmed in my like Carroll County is like the most dangerous place, the highest rate of cancer, and all this fun stuff. And I'm like, oh, we did it again, guys! Look at us.
Number one.
Emily, that is hilarious.
I was going to say that, Emily, but I know how much Shelby does. Shelby
no,
denies
it's hilarious. No, it's totally fine. It's a friend of mine who does that. So I actually, on accident, screamed at the listener. Not actually screamed, but like I had a listener write to me about he thought I was from Arizona, and I was like, Jeremy put you up to this. And I was like, and he was like, no, you just, in one of your episodes, you said you had family in Arizona. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, by the way, it's for you guys, there's a whole inside joke on my show. I have a friend named Jeremy. He has started this narrative that I'm from Arizona. Just, I don't know where it even came from. It came from some inside joke that we've both forgotten by now. And he has decided to tell everyone I'm from Arizona. And so there's a whole like campaign about how there is no Arizona and it's not a real place.
Oh my God. One of those guys.
Yeah.
You're another co-host.
And you keep saying all this stuff, and I'm just like,
so one
so
of
not Arizona, right, Shelby?
So like he and his friends will always say like, oh, bears aren't real, they're just grown men in costumes. So we started like our mascot became a bear.
Yes.
Oh my God.
As a joke.
It's true though. They look like that. I was just at the zoo last weekend and they look like men in costumes. Like the way they move. It's like that's just a guy.
I mean, come on, look at that face.
Oh, those ears.
He's disappointed.
There's a reason the nostrils are really big.
Yeah.
It's because they're eye holes.
And then what is it? He also has a Photoshop picture of a sun bear with Goku's face on it. And he's like,
I hate you.
And it's a weird like picture of him because it's when he has like a Justin Bieber cut. So it looks like
it was not a Justin Bieber cut. It's just okay. So I was growing my hair, and it was in that trend. It's in that awkward phase where it's not. It's long, but it's not long enough to put in a ponytail. Mm-hmm. So it's like always in my face, like a mushroom. So like because it's always in my face, and like I have really thick hair, so like I don't like putting hair care products in it.
Yeah,
I have to maintain. Plus, I used to donate my hair, so I don't use hair gel anymore. Like, because I found out how bad hair gel is for guys. It can actually thin your hair. But
pulls your hair out.
It damages your hair. It actually it's all chemicals. It's actually really bad for hair, especially if you're donating your hair. Though, there are some charities that are so like butthurt about like what you do with your hair, what you put into it, kind of. You got to use certain kind of shampoo. You have to brush it so many times. I mean, it's so fucking crazy. If there's like split ends, they won't take it.
Oh yeah, I've never been able to donate my hair. I've always bleached the shit out of it. So
my hair's junk. Look at this mess.
So
I don't think anybody wants gray.
Oh, apparently I'm king also. Who's
you are.
I'm a bear in a human outfit.
Yep.
Oh damn it! Stop putting my secrets out there, dude. Well, no, like, so the reason why I asked about the cliffhanger thing, because I really I prefer cliffhangers. Someone once told me that you should always leave the reader or the listener wanting more.
Yeah, for sure.
So I went with a cliffhanger, and 2 of my 4 stories end in cliffhangers. The third one doesn't end in a cliffhanger, but it ends with like a, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Well, like I feel like epilogues are nice, but that's where your brain starts to take over and you start to disagree with the author, because like you've created this world where you understand these characters in a certain way. So when the author wraps up everything in like a neat little bow and gives your brain nowhere to go create like with your own idea of things, it does. It kind of like I just read a book recently where the author did that, and I was like, I liked the whole book until now. Like, I didn't want to know exactly what they were all doing for the rest of their lives and how their lives turned out, because I kind of wanted to just like leave it and I don't know, figure it out on my own in my own brain. Yeah.
With mine, I wrote it to where it's fan fiction friendly, like because I wanted to establish a universe. I'm like, okay, if you want to write fan fiction for it, it is possible, because like there's so much that goes on that when I say fan fiction friendly, that there's a high probability that if your fan fiction is good enough, it could actually be canon.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was one, my friend, he wrote a story. He wrote a short story. He wrote a short story, and I liked it so much that I actually made it as part of my lore. So that's
Oh,
why
I like that. Yeah.
it's about a prison system in space. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but I liked it so much that I was like, dude, that is a really neat idea. Like, holy crap, that is, and you can even like, because he had like all these characters and backgrounds for him. I was like, holy crap. And it happens in a spot in the universe to where it's so far away from the main characters, but it's in the same universe. And they know about like these certain characters because they're famous.
That's neat. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, did you hear about you heard about the Titan? Oh yeah, everybody knows about Titan. Like he's this, and this. I'm like, yeah. So they're talking about this one character that's known throughout the universe. One thing I will say though, the character is so famous in my story that there's a prize for him. They only want him dead, and if you can kill him, they will reward you with your own planet.
Oh wow. I mean, that's quite a prize.
It's like a bounty hunter thing, you know.
It is a bounty hunter because he's an individual that ends civilizations. He travels from world to world, destroying the planet.
That's interesting. I like that idea. I would be so fucking flattered if someone wrote fan fiction based on any of my stories. So like the fact that you
probably have.
I don't know. I wish they would send them to me. I would love to read them.
Please be about frosting. Please be about God Will Provide. Those are the best ones to have fan fiction.
I saw someone in the chat mention God Will Provide. Oh yeah, Emily. Yes. I that's one of my favorites I've written too.
That was one of the best ones. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. And that was another one that I think people were upset at the ending because it was kind of cliffhangery, but I didn't think it was that much of a cliffhanger. But people were like, but what happens? And I'm like, I kind of said it. I don't know. Like,
I mean,
do you want me to go through like court proceedings or what? I don't know.
I was going to say, yeah, like you figured out everything.
Yeah.
You answered all the questions.
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying with like epilogues and things. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes they're nice, but like sometimes it's like, I didn't need to hear all that. I just kind of wanted to end and sit in like the feelings I got with the original ending. And I didn't need to like speaking of like my Immortal, Harry Potter's known for like the worst epilogue, you know, like no one wanted to hear that Harry became like a cop and like they all got married to the people you thought they were going to get married to
and had the kids.
And like have kids. I don't know, like no one wanted that. Like we wanted to, and now we're picturing them in their 40s when they were like, this is like a whimsical, you know, teen kid story. And it's like, okay, I guess, yeah, sure. They had kids. I don't know.
Let's play it like that. Sure, let's say it.
They became functional members of society. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, and the fact that you add that in canonically, where you're like, this is where my characters went. And it's like you said, not that it stopped people from doing fan fiction for Harry Potter, but like for anything else, it feels like you just stagnated your own characters, you know?
Right. Oh, what else?
No, it's which Harry Potter is this?
Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
That's the last
one. That's how it ends?
Yeah, there's like an epilogue at the end where they're all like in their 40s and have kids.
He's a taxidermist.
Nah, he's a cop.
Yeah, he's
a cop.
Magic cop.
Potter anymore.
Magic
what
cop.
were they called? Aurors or something?
Yeah.
I suddenly don't like Harry Potter anymore.
I know you don't.
Fucking dude, I don't do cops. I'm sorry. My cousin is a cop, and I looked at him like snitch. I'm like, it's difficult. People don't realize this, but it is so hard to write because when you're writing it, you don't know if it's going to be good or not, or how people will perceive it. And like pretty much, you're writing for yourself. The first, I feel like everybody's writing their first book for themselves, and then the second one is just like, okay, what did they like or what they didn't like? I feel like that's some people. Some people will change, because my friend is guilty of that. He wrote a story, and then his second story, he changed a lot from the original because he took a lot of negative feedback and took it to heart. So I think that plays like a big role when it comes to
Sure.
writing
Yeah.
stories, and it's draining too. Like it.
Oh yeah. Well,
sucks.
like with me with the show, a lot of people, and this is like not a problem, but I've had so many people say they like my original story so much, and that's kind of added this layer of pressure of like my most recent one was Frosting, and it was kind of terrifying. It was my first original in like a year, and I was like, oh shit, like people are always asking me to do originals. What if this one's really bad? And like I wrote it pretty quickly, and it was just
really
like
good.
Thank you so much. And I like put it out there. I mean, I wouldn't have put it out there if I didn't think personally it was good, but still it's like this layer of pressure of people being like, your original stories are so good, and it's like, what if this one's not? What if this is the day?
I completely forgot like what the title even was until like towards the end of the story, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It all came back around.
It all came.
Frosting.
That makes sense.
I want to make that cake someday. I described in there.
I want to eat it.
Right? I was like, this sounds really good. I've never actually made anything like this, but then I have to fucking decorate. I have to make blue frosting, man. See?
What is the cake? What is the cake? Because for those of us that haven't read the story,
Okay, it was
Spoilers.
it was like the top, it was a 2-tiered cake, and it was the top 2 layers were chocolate with a vanilla custard filling. I
Yeah,
can't remember what I
like
did.
a Swedish buttercream or something.
Okay,
It was
so just put it
Yeah.
out there. Cake shaped like a stormtrooper. Got it.
stop.
Stormtrooper cake.
I've seen that. Somebody made that. That's a thing.
It is a thing.
Oh yeah,
You're not
there's
wrong.
cake shaped like everything. Like I'm
Yes.
surprised I'm not cake. Like
It was a cake shaped like a watermelon.
Right.
It looked like a watermelon, but then when you cut
Dude,
it up, oh shit.
There's some disturbing cakes. I watched this video
like
and they
the
made
raw
like
chicken ones are gross
Yeah.
looking.
the raw
That's
chicken
funny.
runs, the baby
Yeah.
cake.
The
Yeah,
big
the baby one. Yeah,
I was
That was
like,
hilarious.
I forgot that was bad. Did that one?
I
We
was just
get-
like,
We get a lot of those on the Facebook group. A lot of people finding like, oh look, here's people cutting into like babies and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
cake.
is
Or,
that I was about to say, is that just my circle of friends? Like, that's how my friends are. Hey man, you want to see something fucked up?
You want to see a baby get cut by a knife? And then when
Yeah, it's like that's how.
Cake.
And that's how guys are. Guys are like they'll grab something. They're just like they'll be like oh, hey, come smell this.
Hey, dude, you can smell this permanent marker. It smells really
Yeah.
good.
I feel like that's how my Facebook group has become. It's basically like I found this horrifying thing and I need other people to like see it, and you're all weirdos, so like we're all in it together.
Yeah.
Well, I already do my part. I've contributed quite a bit to that
Yeah.
group.
I just tune you out every now and then. It's like,
I know he does. Yeah,
because I have ADD.
it's okay.
Like literally everything distracts me. Like I literally have people messaging me like, "Hey, so what's the plan for this weekend?" It's like I don't
Fucking know.
Hey, bro, what's the plan for this weekend?
Hey man, I can't make it, and then all out of nowhere, I guess I can. Oh wait, never
Right.
mind. Oh wait, yeah, man, no, never mind.
Oh my god, that happens a lot.
That does.
It happens a lot. I'm like, you know what? Stay home. You're uninvited. We can't
Just
afford.
to save you the trouble. Just stay.
No, no,
home.
Yeah,
I'm
never
gonna
mind.
take a shot at somebody we know. Just to. We can't afford to feed you anymore. So just you're uninvited. They know it's an inside joke. They know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I probably should have done that on the show.
It was great. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about Santa Claus.
Yep.
Speaking of Santa Claus, I know we're still in spooky season. This Sunday, obviously it's October 31st. It is Halloween. Dia de los Muertos is the following week. But there's already Christmas shit at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yep. It's so disappointing.
Yeah.
Going in everywhere. I mean, a week or two ago, it was already Christmas shit everywhere.
Right.
It was like, give it a moment, you guys.
Mhm.
Like,
I know, at least put the
respect
Halloween
dead.
stuff on clearance so I can get some
Yeah,
of that.
and then put the Christmas.
Yeah.
in.
Hey,
But what about
speaking of that,
Thanksgiving?
Monday, Christmas. I mean,
Nobody gives
Halloween
no-
candy clearance.
There
If
you
you
go.
are
Yeah.
if you are from North America, if your ancestry is from North America in any
touche.
kind of way, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
even though we do, because
You're right.
there's a religious aspect to it, but it's like, oh, hey, happy Turkey Day.
Yep.
It's the only time of year as a Latino that we eat turkey. We don't eat turkey any other part of the year.
Right.
Yeah, we
Unless
never
it's
eat turkey. Sometimes we don't even eat turkey on Thanksgiving. We'll do like tri-tip or something.
There you go. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to remember how many Thanksgiving themed stories you had on the show.
Oh yeah,
I
I've had a
remember the
few.
one
Oh,
story.
speaking of ones that people got mad at.
Was that one of them?
Yeah. I had one year where like the grandma cooked a baby or whatever, and like people weren't happy about it. Look,
What the fuck?
Was it your
I got
grandma?
a job
Was
to
it
do,
your
and
baby?
my job is to scare people.
And she did
was
it.
like-
What are
that's
you
some, like, that's
complaining
some-
about? You got
That's
your
some
money's worth.
Llorona. That's like Llorona's cousin or grandma. Some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Instead of
her
drowning
grandma.
the kids.
That's just really. Was it your grandma? Was it your baby? Like, come on now.
Well, and it was even, I think, yeah, she like, I don't even think it was the sinister. There were a few like sinister ones where people, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I did one year where I did all these Thanksgiving stories, but really the only way people go with Thanksgiving stories is cannibalism, because they're like,
What else can you
that's
do?
what we do on Thanksgiving is eat. So what's the scariest way to eat? It's cannibalism.
You know
Well,
what?
why
So
No,
kinda
the oven?
here. I posit to all the future writers out there: zombie turkeys. Do it. There. Then you can't be
Okay.
mad at the
Well,
cannibalism.
my
Zombies
question
over-
is-
yeah.
Why is it always an oven? Why can't you throw the baby on the grill?
Make it a fryer. Yeah.
Yeah,
fryer.
crisp up that skin.
Set, pour some beer on it. What are you doing back there? I'm cooking pork.
What do they call? They call it long pork, don't they? Isn't that what you call human flesh? Long
the
pork.
other white meat.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I mean, Zerkies. We're gonna have
Zerkies.
Zerkies. I like it.
I mean, it's always an oven though. Like, how come nobody
It
throws
is.
somebody on the grill and has like a barbecue? Hey man,
yeah.
what do
Well,
you
that
eat?
was the problem I
Mexican.
had with my Thanksgiving special that one year. It was kind of like the twist in every story was that someone was getting eaten, like every
I mean-
story, and it got a little old. Like I liked each
I
story, but I
agree.
think it was just too much at all of it, you know.
True. Yeah.
Except for people were mad about the baby one. I don't
Too much
Mhm.
cannibalism.
Sorry.
They
Or-
kind of
Yeah.
did something similar to people eating. I don't know if you ever heard of the show Gotham. It's about Batman when he was
Yeah.
growing up.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Cobblepot, who's the Penguin, his father, his biological father, passed away, so his stepmom takes over, and so they treat him like shit. He's pretty much getting like the Cinderella treatment.
Mhm.
So at in the episode, she's eating and she's like, "Oh, this is really good." Like, what is it? Oh, I hope you're really enjoying that because those are your kids. And it was like a roast beef. It was like a big old like slab of ham or whatever, and they were her kids. He threw them on
Wow.
the grill.
Nice.
Brine, a nice brine before. No one ever brines before.
There you go.
Marinate. Oh, this is getting
Yeah.
dark. This
How about a
conversation-
good rub?
How about a Black Friday shopping gone wrong? We always see like the fights that install. Make it go all the way.
That's a good idea.
Go all the way,
Yeah.
guys. A free
Okay,
for
so
all. Hunger
I will
Games
say
style.
this. I don't know why it's still called Black Friday when it starts on a Wednesday.
It really does.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No, it's not wrong.
I can't even
I
enjoy
don't miss retail
Thanksgiving.
because of that. Oh my god.
I
had
worked
to
for
do a couple of
GameStop.
those. That was
I worked
awful.
for GameStop when they did Black Friday. Like, hey man, can you come in? I was like,
Yeah. I used to work for Skechers. I was a manager there, and it was like they did all this shit and made us be there for like fucking 24 hours. And I'm like, no one wants fucking Skechers for Black Friday. They want a TV. What are you making us be here for?
that's right. I want
I used to work at
I
Toys
want a
R Us.
TV that's
Remember that?
My brother did one seasonal stint at Toys R Us during Black Friday, and he had the stories just from one Black Friday. Oh my god.
Yeah.
People just
was-
ripping bikes off the bike displays and
Yep.
shit, and like, oh my god.
I almost got kicked out of a Toys R Us once because somebody pushed one of the carts. So somebody like shoves a cart and it hits one of the employees,
Oof.
Hmm.
and the guy like took off before she could turn around. So she turns around and then says something to me, and I didn't hear what the fuck she said to me. I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? And she like threatened to kick me. I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "Oh, because she
Oh my
she
God.
thought I threw the cart at her."
Oh man.
I was like, I was pissed. I was about to like yell at her. I'm like, you know what? It's fucking Toys R Us. I'm pretty sure it sucks working here to begin with.
I got accused of stealing at Best Buy like a few weeks ago. That was
a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago.
What did you steal? Was it anything good?
I went to get a new phone. I have a new phone, and I went to get it activated, and they were busy, so they
Android
were
or
like,
iPhone?
"You got to." I have an Android. I have one of the new flippy ones, like Blast from the Past. Yeah, I got one of those gimmicky ones. I fucking love it. You know what? You can actually hang up on people like this.
There you go.
Anyway.
I want one. I want the fold. I want the fold.
Oh, the other one.
That's what. Yeah. Oh, the ones that go the big way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was getting my phone activated, and I had to wait because they had people there, and so I was walking around, and I was actually on the phone with my husband because he is rebuilding parts of his computer, and he was like, "Hey, can you go check to see the price on this certain part over by the computer shit?" And I was like, "Yeah." And so I was on the phone with him, and I'm wandering around. Well, I had my phone. I had already had the phone. I was getting it, like I said, I was getting it activated. It had been mailed to me. So I had the box and everything in my hand, and I was walking around, and I was like, "Okay, this is the price of this." And I noticed a guy following me, and I was like, "That's weird." And he comes up to me while I'm still on the phone and is like, "Ma'am, can I help you?" And I was like, "No, I'm good." And he was just like, and he looks at the phone in my hand, and he was just like, "I think I need to help you." And I was like, no. And I was like, and he was just like, "Well, are you like, what do you need to find?" And I was like, "I own this. I already bought it. You don't own this." I was like, "I'm just getting it activated." And I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And he was just like, "Okay, well," and he still like was just like, "Well, if you need like any help," and like kept like looking down at the phone in my hand. And I was like, "Oh my fucking God." I was like, "I worked in retail long enough. I know what you're doing." I was like, "I don't need this today." It was
that shit sucks. And it's happened to me at Walmart.
Yeah.
We had we were walking around, and we had like they had all the Avatar DVDs for sale. They were like buy two for the price of one, and so we got all of them. This is before they had the seasons. This was like years and years ago.
Oh, okay.
And and this is when Walmart was 24 hours too.
Oh, I missed that.
Grocery shopping at 2 a.m.
There you
go.
Yeah,
I used to always go at 2 a.m. because there's less people.
Yes,
I was
me too. I used to love midnight grocery shopping. I miss it.
The security guard just came up to us and like snatched the DVDs out of our hand. Like, we're gonna hold these in the front for y'all. He's like, I'm like, what the? He literally snatched them out of our hand.
Oh my fucking God! I've had that too, where they're like, "I'm gonna hold this at the front. We need to hold this at the front," and I'm like, "Oh my God." Just come out and say it. Just say it to me. Say it to my face.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was pissed because I was like, I'm not gonna steal Avatar DVDs. Maybe some Blu-rays.
There you go.
I'll steal Blu-rays. Like, you have to explain to them, man, if you're gonna steal something, get caught. Go for the high end shit.
Yeah, come on now.
Like,
all the Walmarts around me have everything locked up. Like, all the aisles are literally locked. Like. Everything is locked up.
Shoplifting.
Yeah, like body wash, everything. Like, you have to call for everything. It's so annoying.
Yeah, because over there in California, it's like a lot of shoplifting. Apparently, you can't. Apparently, it's like
it's a misdemeanor now, isn't it?
It's a misdemeanor. So people just be like, "Hey, whatever. It's worth it."
That you gotta love. That's why we love it here in Texas. The cops won't even show up if it's less than $20.
Oh my God!
How much did he spit? How much did he steal? All right, how much is it worth? $8.
You called me down here for that?
They'll hang up and like click.
Yeah,
wasting my time. Go catch him first, and then we'll pick him up at the end of our shift.
Yeah.
But
true story.
Like, I mean, why? So is the deodorant and like the
deodorant, everything is locked
all
up.
Hygienic
like
stuff is locked up.
Yeah, especially like all the cosmetics, like like all the makeup and everything, all the body wash, all the stuff like that. I'm trying to think of all the other aisles like that have shit locked up. It's like it's a lot. There's a few stores you walk into and you're like, I can't even shop here. Like, I need a personal shopper to unlock every case for me because I can't grab anything.
Oh my God, that sounds horrible. That's why Amazon's doing so well. The same
exactly.
shit. Honestly, though, since we go to a lot of anime cons and comic cons, I would let people shoplift deodorant. I mean, just putting it out there.
Right. Oh my God. Speaking of, I wanted to talk to you guys about this because I
Please.
watched your con drama episode. And so I was like, these are con people. I want to talk to them. Have you heard the latest from FurCon? And
Oh my god, SJ was the first one to laugh, and I'm like, okay, now we know something that
SJ knows something we don't know.
No, I don't.
oh my God. You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I just think it's
Okay.
hilarious that you mentioned a fur con because these
9 times out of 10 something bad is guaranteed to happen.
Okay. Do
That
you want
sounds like
anybody
something
want to
bad's
take
gonna-
any bets on what happened at this time at the FurCon? Because I don't know if I'm obsessed with con stories. Like I fucking love them. I could watch movies or watch YouTube videos all day about
Sonic.
con stories. And like, so this year at FurCon, they found a bunch of pizzas everywhere, like just placed places.
Mhm.
And a bunch of dudes had jizzed all over them.
Ew.
I'm out.
Uh,
Thank
And
you
they
for-
just left them places for people to find.
You could
I'm
just
out. Show's canceled. Thanks for being on here. All right,
you
guys.
could
we'll
just
call
said
it
they
a
put
night.
mayonnaise
I'm-
in the ketchup. I mean, in the mayonnaise.
That's-
in the pizza.
See, I
That's so
expected Pachinko
bad.
to hop on just like 2 seconds earlier to be like, "Oh yeah, for sure, SJ knows something." It's like, no, I don't, but I know you guys
Oh.
think I do. So
I'm glad to bring that here for you. I told you guys my show is gross. I'm gross. I brought it here.
Oh
I
no,
brought the-
I've heard way worse. Believe it or
oh
not.
yeah, there's way worse. Yeah. Not-
there he is.
So,
There's
Oni,
Pachinko.
Yeah.
what's up, Griff? So at OniCon 2007, there was
Mhm.
rumors. There was a story going around, and I heard this was true.
Puppy.
At the Hilton Hotel that was right across the street from the convention center where it was being held, somebody shit in the hallway
Ew.
I
and
heard
then
that
took
too.
it. Yeah. And they rubbed it all over the wall on that floor. And
That's
then-
like Rainforest where they all shit in diapers and like left them on cars in the parking lot.
Ew.
yeah. And then they set
That's
a
why I
mattress
fucking love
on
con stories, man.
fire.
People are just like animals there. I don't know what it is. You buy your tickets and you're like, I'm ready. I'm
Destroy
gonna turn into a
everything.
lunatic.
It's like, why? I don't want to
Yeah,
go to
no.
cons anymore either.
It's pretty Goku. I changed. I don't think. That was a long time ago. We were all a lot younger. Like
Didn't you just tell me a couple of stories when you guys went to Anime Houston just earlier this year, and somebody
Oh.
shit in a plant?
yeah,
Why are people shitting everywhere? What?
I think because they took some acid or something, and they couldn't get back into their room, and they had to go to the bathroom. That's the story I was hearing.
Wow.
So they
Tale of
just
old
shit,
time.
they shit in a plant, and they thought it was going to help the plant, but it was like a fake office plant.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it would have helped a real plant either, but yeah.
I mean, we know one dude who was messing around with some girl next to the Coke machine where the ice dispenser was, thinking
That's
that
another
nobody
thing.
was going to see him.
The sex stories from cons. I'm
Ew.
telling animals, you just turn into animals.
No. so we have one.
We have
It's
one.
pretty
What?
gross. It's pretty gross. So there was a girl.
I'm
She's
here for
really attractive, and she shows up. She's wearing a red dress, and there's this guy following her because he's in love with her. He follows her to our party. He's like, "Oh yeah, she's beautiful," and I'm looking right at her. I'm like, "Yeah, dude, she's fucking hot." So I start talking to her. I tell her, "Hey, mi casa, tu casa." The band we had booked for that weekend to do a concert in our room. Them and like 2 of our buddies decided to take her to another room, to one of our other rooms that was connected. They closed the door, and the guy just starts like getting all depressed and all sad. He's all like, "Oh man," I'm like, "Oh yeah, man, sorry to hear that. I know exactly what they're about to do." So I wasn't in there, but I heard what happened. So they apparently start running a train on her, and one of my other friends starts beating on the door, and they answer. He's like, "I know what's going on, and I want in." And his pants are already on the ground. And the girl's like, "Okay, that's fine."
Okay, so this was all consensual, or at
Yeah.
least
I was gonna
Consensual.
say, I could see on the
The
look. I
initial
was like,
part.
Goku, eventually you're gonna have to put in that trigger warning that this was consensual, and what other
No,
else?
that's part of the story because that is.
yes.
No, okay. So she says okay. As soon as she says okay, he runs in there. 3 of my buddies are having trouble now staying at attention because apparently he doesn't manscape. So we started calling him Afro Thunder. And then the first thing he does is he goes down on the girl in the middle after they've already started.
Oh.
And then he bites her.
He bites her?
Yeah, because he had never done that before.
So he thinks that it involves biting?
He thought it involved teeth. Yes.
Has he never watched porn? Like,
Clearly not.
Apparently he
Shelby,
does. No,
Shelby,
apparently he does.
You know these guys have been watching porn since they were like 10 and they still don't know where anything is or how to do it.
it's true.
Apparently he bites her.
It's true.
And the first thing my friend screams at him because she's saying ow, ow. She's like in pain at this point. And the first thing he screams at him is like, it's not an RV sandwich. You need to relax.
I don't remember that part.
No, we did. Remember we told you we screamed RV sandwich, RVs.
And Pachinko, yes.
And so
Wow.
everybody just left like, man, that sucked.
That was disappointing.
That was
What
worst
our money back.
gangbang
Damn.
ever. The girl had fun, but
I mean,
eventually-
did
Up
she
until that
got-
point. Up until that point.
Yeah. Way to
Yeah.
ruin the mood.
like a couple people left, like, oh yeah, you know what, we're done. We're good. We're gonna go be priests now.
Yeah.
So I was
Following
just
the way of the Lord now.
it's like, and I heard about this because one, there was no way I was gonna get involved in something like that. I am not that kind of person. I do not do that. Secondly, I already knew what was going on, but I didn't know that part happened. So when I heard about it, I fell to the ground laughing. And I go up to my friend and I'm like, he's all like, yeah, what is it now? Because every year, every time we go to this con, he's just like, something happens and I have to have a talk with him. Oh my God. And then the concert was amazing though. We had a concert in our hotel room.
That's
For the
fun.
It was great. And this con is called Delta for those of you that are wondering. I know some of our listeners, Pachinko, know exactly what I'm talking about because we've shared the story before. This is one of our like less crazy stories. At Anime Houston, it was a bunch of 21-year-olds fighting over a girl. I called dibs on her. No, I called dibs on her. I called dibs on her. And I got mad. She's a fucking human being. She's not property. Y'all need to shut up with that bro code bullshit because that doesn't count for anything. I gave an entire room of 21-year-olds like a fatherly discussion.
There you go.
Man,
Because I'm like I'm
Saving incels one incel at a time.
There you go.
because I'm 33, so I was like, you know,
Me too.
like, yay, 30.
Yay.
I was like, you know, she's not like. I told him like, look, you should have told him that you were messing around with the girl that he liked, but at the same time, you know she's not into you, so you need to move on. Like they were literally fighting. They were like yelling, "Oh, bro, you broke the bro code. I feel betrayed." I'm like, nobody cares.
You're right though. So many of them see women as just like a thing, like property.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's so creepy.
It's disgusting.
Mhm.
It is disgusting. It's fucked up. But at the same time, they're 21-year-olds. That's when they're still in their molding phase. So you got to
Yeah.
kind of teach them.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to explain to them, like, listen, man, does she like your back? No, then move on.
Yeah.
It's literally only 12. You can meet somebody. You still got enough time to meet somebody else.
Mhm.
Past 2:00, like at that point, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
So I was just like, just move on, dude. Like, there's another girl. Like, look at all the pretty
Mhm.
girls. Like, you're literally gonna cry about the one girl that doesn't see you that way. She already said she doesn't like you that way. So I was
That's the
like,
thing. Like, why would you even want someone who is like expressed like, I'm not into you? Why
well,
would
they
you?
were all just trying to get laid.
About that
That's all it
notch.
was.
It's just about that notch.
Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. The one guy that was fooling around with her was trying to get the notch because he had one girl with him already that he was sleeping around with, and then he decided to. The 20-year-olds have a better chance with a trash can.
Yep.
LOL. Yo, shout out to the homie with the half scissor blade on his wall.
That's
They gave you a shout out, Sonic.
Thank you.
Are you watching AEW?
No.
What are you
Okay.
watching?
It's,
What are you?
I'm watching Candace.
Oh,
Okay.
Not
Because he's
over
usually, whenever we used to do the shows on Friday, he would watch wrestling in the background and let me know. Like, no,
Sorry.
no, but like when it comes to like the cons, like there are so many bad stories and
No,
there's
I'm
so
a
many
good
good
multitasker,
stories.
so I can listen. I still pay attention to both.
there you go.
There's so
I
many
was
good
like,
stories.
I'm like 3 days old when I found out Kane is mayor. I don't know where he's mayor of, but he's mayor.
Knoxville.
I know
yeah.
you guys would know.
He's
just thought-
mayor?
He's
Yes.
the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a politician now. He's a
And apparently
He
there's
went-
a video of him choke slamming a congressperson or something. I don't know.
can he?
You say like it's a
Alright.
bad thing.
Well,
So
no, it's not a
that's
bad thing. There's a video of it on YouTube. Apparently he did it. I think he asked for it, but
Yeah,
I was like,
they
damn.
probably. You know, if you teach somebody how to take the bump, it doesn't actually hurt that much.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to know how to land. You got to know how to
True,
land, and you got to
true.
know how to bring them down too.
Landing's
Mhm.
the key.
Right. Yeah, I've been
If you
Watch it.
watch wrestling, most of the time they're always landing on like their shoulders or their back.
yeah. Yeah, I've been
So-
rewatching
Their
a lot of
legs,
like
their
the
knees
Attitude Era
up.
stuff.
Mhm.
So I've been
It-
I've been paying attention to some of that because that had
You have to
actually
be
like
careful.
the
You-
best storylines.
You can't land on your head or you can't land on your head, period. But like you can't land any like on your neck or close to your neck because it's very dangerous.
Mhm.
You don't
Yeah.
realize that like wrestling rings are like
Plywood.
fucking plywood, and like the mats are like the actual mats are like this thick.
Yeah, they're not thick.
Mm-mm. And
That's why
like, oh,
all
there's
those old guys are like crippled now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Hulk Hogan's like his back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a messed up back, but he's racist anyway, so we don't care.
True. So Shelby,
Uh,
do you go to conventions or do you just like hearing the drama?
I don't go to a lot of conventions just because honestly, the ones in California, they get really crowded. I mean, like,
Sure, yeah.
we have the San Diego Comic-Con, which is like it's almost impossible. From what I've heard in recent years, it's like impossible to even even if you get in, like to get around is like a miserable experience. But
Yeah.
I've heard that from friends the last few years, or except for last year. But but yeah, like I haven't gone to a ton, but the ones I have, I really enjoy them. I think they're fun. But I think that's what I love about them is seeing people like in their full like just they're not holding back at all, and there's something about cons that
Right.
makes people do that.
Yeah.
And I think I really learned a lot about it because I have a few friends who are furries, and like they slowly like let us know that they were furries, and they like seeing them in like the furry element was like, who are you? Like these are such
Right.
different people. Like I have a friend, she's so reserved and like quiet, and like she's like so funny and everything, but like seeing her like as a furry, it was like her posturing was different, and it was like she's like really like different, and it's just like there's something about that. And it's not just fur cons either, it's just like
Yeah.
anytime there's like cosplay involved. And I think that's the thing. I think I really love whenever it's like cosplay, or if it's like a super fandom like bronies, because those always have great stories from their cons too, because they're
Yeah.
just like so
Bronies, huh?
gatekeepy and weird. Like, not saying all bronies are weird, but there are weird ones,
Yeah,
Right.
And like
I'll tell you.
it's
I
like-
could tell you a couple of them
Yeah.
if you want. There was one time. It was like, it wasn't even at a con either. It was like at this little gathering at this old tea house here in this area. They used to do like a little game night thing or everything like that. And like the host is really cool, but he's like an obvious brony, like way too obvious he's a brony. It's like
yeah.
you could tell easily. And like all the people he invited are like a brony in some form or fashion.
Mhm.
And I would walk around and he was like, "Hey man, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, nice, how's it going?" And one of them goes, "Hey, you know who we waiting to fight, Princess Celestia or Scootaloo?" I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about, dude?"
Who?
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like,
Ponies.
"Yeah, it's they're characters from My Little Pony." So
Yeah.
it's just like,
We
Yeah.
actually hosted a panel. It was My Little Pony versus Homestuck.
Oh God. Oh
And
Jesus.
it was so bad.
Oh my
Like-
God.
They were so toxic towards each other.
Yeah, Homestuck fans are like, I mean, the whole story about the one who dyed her skin with Sharpie and alcohol, like,
Ooh.
and had to go to the hospital or whatever. Like, the Homestuck fans with their, like, they literally had to ban Homestuck cosplays from a lot of cons because they'd paint themselves gray and like get shit all over the walls and like, it's like,
Actually, that was one time I actually saw like a hotel staff like who's normally like who was gonna go to a con. He's like, hey, just letting you people who cosplay Homestuck, just letting y'all know, if there's paint in the walls, they're gonna charge you a lot of money for it. So just letting you know.
Yeah.
Like you had to warn them ahead of time.
No, it's there was it was pretty bad. They were talking so much. Like the whole point of the panel is to talk shit, but like you have to come up
like
in a
those
fun
two groups
way.
of people. Holy shit! I wish I could have been there.
It was interesting because you have to come up and grab the microphone and you take turns talking shit to each other, and like they at that point were just yelling at across the room from each other. And like, all right, keep the cussing to a minimum. Next thing you know, is, fuck you, fuck that, fuck your show. And I actually appreciate bronies more. Okay, so I didn't know this. So we were walking around and I see these two girls cosplaying My Little Pony. And I was all like, hey, what's up, bronies? And they're like, we're not ponies. I know we're not bronies, we're ponies. I'm like, I don't know the fucking difference.
We're not bronies, we're ponies.
We're ponies. And
fucking idiot.
Yeah, I know. They were like, yeah, they looked at me like I was fucking stupid. I was like, I don't know the fucking difference. So, like, we had a panel that night. We were doing the cosplay dating game show. And there was there was a different My Little Pony cosplayer. And she kept, like, pouting and getting an attitude. And I thought, I'm like, is this bitch for real? I'm like, and I found out it was part of her character. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
She's doing
So I was a little bit more understanding. I was like, okay, that's really good because I was starting to get fucking mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. You had a heads up.
So like, I will in my panels, if you heckle or you like, or if you like yell and or you're really loud, I will fuck with you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Like especially like I have one friend who is always sitting in the back and he's always like yelling and heckling. I'm like, hey, you in the cheap seats, keep it down. And so this girl, she was like dead front. She was right in the front and she kept pouting. And I was like, hey, keep it down or I'm sending you to the glue factory. And I walked away, and then like 2 minutes later, I come back. I was like, you know what? I apologize. That was messed up. And let me translate. And everyone lost their shit when I did that to her.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
that's hilarious.
I like what you did at the our karaoke panel at Etchy Expo. That one dude in that one dude in the front, because the hotel we were in was not really made for having a convention, an 18 up convention on top of that. So we had karaoke in this teeny little panel room, and it was already like standing room.
I don't know how big your living room is, but imagine having karaoke in your living room for a convention of like a couple thousand people.
Oh my god.
And again, standing room only, and then we had to have space for like us and whoever was performing.
Yeah.
So we had people actually like sitting in the front row, literally like right behind the speaker.
It looked like Mexican church. You got people against the wall, people sitting behind us. They're sitting on the sides.
We're trying really hard to be like, don't cross this line because this is where like we're working.
This circle. It's like a circle. It's like a little oval.
Yeah.
See this circle? This is where they're gonna sing. Don't touch.
Go like this way. Come over here. Stay up there. Like
sit on your partner's lap if you have to.
Sit on shoulders. We don't even care. Just stay out the door. I can't even. So like, there's a couple of people up front, and there was like that one. I don't know his name, but it was some white dude, and you and him were having a back and forth, and you were like, "Hey, keep it down, white privilege."
Oh yeah, I was like, "Keep it down, credit score. Keep it down, privilege."
It was great. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it so much.
I love that. Oh my god! One
Yeah.
thing I want to try, and if you guys
Yes.
haven't looked into it, is LARPing.
Oh
There's
yeah, I have.
Where's
like
Jace is probably the one to talk to. He's our other guy that should have come on, but whatever. Life.
I've been watching more videos because I just exhausted my con videos, and so I was like, I gotta move on to something. I need my fix. And so I've been watching LARPing videos, and like they are so much more elaborate than what I thought, than just like meeting at a park with like foam weapons.
Your cardboard
you'll
sword.
like pay for a weekend where you actually like stay somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and like the whole weekend is like you're in
Oh, that sounds fun.
character. Like
Ren Fair.
and there's like elaborate storylines, and I'm like, I gotta try this. But I have to say, those actors, bless them, because I don't know how they stay in character the whole. How are you not at one point just like?
Yeah,
I don't
bad.
know.
I see. Yeah, I'm bad at conventions. When I am dressed up, I see somebody else like from my childhood. I'm like, what? And I'm just like following them and everything, and I'm just fangirling all over the place. I'm like,
I was about to say that's my secret cap. I'm always in character.
He is. He is. Well, because you are a character.
Yeah, I've done the LARPing thing. I've gotten hit in the balls a few times doing LARPing by ninja stars or people with nunchucks, or some asshole decided to like just swing at me when I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Oof.
It's pretty interesting that people we drove to Louisiana a couple times because just to hang out with some friends, but we drove all the way out there because they had a Popeyes buffet. So we drive all the way to Louisiana for the Popeyes buffet. It was a 4-hour trip. And on our way back, we decided to meet up with some friends, and they were LARPing. So they're like, okay, we had to fill out, like, we signed up this paper sheet every time we LARP or do something. We earn like their currency, and we can exchange the currency for like upgrades.
Yeah, it's like a whole like system. I love that.
Yeah, they have like this entire economy.
Yeah,
they have their own economy. So it's like it's crazy. It's cool. It was definitely a different experience. The Texas Renaissance Festival was nothing like that, by the way.
True.
Texas Renaissance Festival is more middle-aged, drunk, sexually frustrated adults.
Yeah.
For sure. I haven't been to a Renaissance Festival in years. I want to go to one. Have you guys heard of Evermore? It's like a LARPing theme park. It's in like Ohio or something. And I want to say Ohio. And they've made like a whole theme park where you're like LARPing the whole theme park, and you have like quests and things, and it's like a permanent LARPing station with like permanent buildings and
that sounds cool.
G5.
Yeah.
Is that in Utah?
Is it Utah? Yeah, I think it's Utah.
Pleasant Grove, Utah, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
I know that area.
The next trip that I think me and a couple buddies are going to take, like the big next trip, is that we want to go see that Blockbuster.
The last in Oregon.
Oh yeah.
The last one in Oregon.
We actually found it and everything.
Yeah, we were looking at Street View of the last Blockbuster. I just want to go and relive my childhood one more time before it goes away.
I want to see it too. My brother lives in Oregon, and I'm like, can I come visit just to drive to this Blockbuster?
You don't say that. They'll be like, hey, I want to come visit you. And then be like, all right, hey. And then, like, talk to him for like 5 minutes. Hey, it was nice seeing you again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go check out Blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm going to go check out Blockbuster, dude. I'll catch you around. See you later, dog.
I want some of their merch. I want to smell it again. I want to smell
the
video store.
Everyone that's gone inside that store says it smells like an old Blockbuster.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've always heard people say this. It's that plastic smell.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to smell it again. And carpet and plastic.
There was an antique store I actually went to a few weeks ago. It's kind of different because you would think, it's just like vintage antiques. Like some people actually sell like their own stuff. It's kind of like a small flea market in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I went inside, and this guy, I was looking through his stuff because there's like a lot of nostalgic like toys and all that stuff. And I see it, and I was like, hey, are you selling this? I'm like, what? And it was like the membership cards of Blockbuster Hollywood Video.
Oh my God.
I was like, are you selling this?
Oh my God, Hollywood Video.
And he was like, yeah, I'm selling them, in case anybody was nostalgic. I went to go to this guy's house, he was selling his stuff, and he told me, hey, if you want these, you could sell them. I was like, all right, cool. And it's pretty cool. And I'd always tell people, I was like, oh man, Blockbuster was a thing. And there were some kids nowadays like, hey, have you ever been to Blockbuster? People always tell me this story, and I've never been there before. How was it like?
It's such a like We all from that era have just such a
Yeah.
beautiful memory of it because it was such a happy. You weren't at Blockbuster for bad reasons ever, unless you
Nah.
worked there, I guess.
Actually, you know what? Now that you bring this, I brought it up. I brought this story up at a podcast. I think it was last year, but I might as well tell it again as a refresher. This was when the Blockbusters were shutting down. Close to it. They were like about to shut down. They were like a few weeks away from shutting down. So it was like around 2012. A friend of mine, who worked there at the time, he was working there. He was just being there normal and all that stuff. And this lady comes in with her kid. Her kid wants the new Call of Duty game. So he brings it to the table. And he was like, and then when he brings it to the table, my friend was like, just letting you know, because obviously they'll say, hey, just letting you know that this is M-rated, just letting you know, has blood gore, you understand that. And the lady's like,
I forgot they used to let you know.
Yeah, they used to. And so he tells him, and then the lady was like, I think it's not right that you guys are selling M-rated games to kids. I think you should not do that. And then he was like, well, to be fair, lady, you're the one who's buying for him.
You're the one
that's kind of
it.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then she got all pissed. She went on Karen mode, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call corporate. What's your employee number and what's your corporate?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. And he gave her like a fake number.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I hope you get fired." And I'm like, "Well, fine. We're gonna shut down anyway in a few weeks. What do I got to fucking lose?"
Right.
And
oh man.
I'm like,
yeah,
it's so below me. And I'm like, I remember Blockbuster where you just go in there, you get to rent stuff and for 5 days. And if you didn't like the game, you don't have to buy it anymore. You don't have to see it again. But if you like the game enough, you can just buy it.
There you go.
Yeah. God, and you'd have to start all over because you don't have any of your save data from the game.
Yeah. Unless you have a memory card already there, and they're like, all right, I can finish the story.
But the mom thing, dude, I dealt with that a lot when I worked at GameStop. That was
I bet.
I got yelled at. I was telling them in a previous podcast, I got yelled at because this lady's like, what is the bet? Like, do you have Super Mario on the PlayStation? I'm like, no, man, that's a Nintendo thing.
Yeah.
We're like, why? Like, we have PlayStation and my son wants to play Mario. Take that out with Nintendo. And it got to the point where it's like, listen, ma'am, I don't know what you heard, but we don't make the games in the back.
We just sell them.
Because, I had to explain to her because I would get mad too.
Yeah.
Because they were we had parents that are they would yell at us after we explained to them the rated M mature. Okay, this thing has violence, blood, nudity.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. And then they come back. You didn't you sold me this game for my son, and there are strippers in it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
that was your line. That was the line to cross.
I was
we told you violence, gore, cussing, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Strippers, no.
I got in trouble because I was like, oh really? I need to get that game then. What game is this? What game did we sell?
Which is kind of surreal because they already announced that the Grand Theft Auto trilogy is going to come out. So people are going to remember those times with San Andreas, Vice City, and 3.
Where the car,
all the remastered ones.
Yeah.
Pick up the hooker, do your thing, and then beat her up and get your money back.
Whoopsies.
That was a whole joke in a Family Guy. Here, Peter, learn how to be an adult by playing Grand Theft Auto, and the first thing he does is beat up a hooker and take her money. No,
I remember a time at Hollywood Video. Somebody, I don't know if somebody did it as a prank. I don't know if it was one of the employees or some patron or whatever, but I found a video and I asked my mom, can we rent it? And she said yes. We take it to the counter. Employee says nothing to us. Why?
Hey,
what the hell?
Hey, Goku.
Get that off.
I see it.
Yeah. Just keep going.
And so I saw it because at the time I thought, I don't know. I was like, oh, this can't be that bad. It's probably just some weird Marvel thing I haven't even heard about, and it turned out it was a softcore porn of Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, is it porn?
It was porn.
It is porn.
It was a softcore porn, and nobody stopped me. My mom didn't pay that much attention, and the employee did not say anything to us.
The employee's like, it's softcore. Like, it's fine.
It's like that. It's like that.
You don't see anything.
Where they're like on a quest to return the Lord of the Rings, but they accidentally switched it with a porn video, and all the parents are trying to get the porn video because they thought they saw it, and then the ending they have to explain the context of the video, even though they didn't watch the actual movie.
Yeah.
They accidentally switched it with a porn video, and all the parents are
Go
trying
away.
to
I forgot Hollywood Video was a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
right?
that's the one that we would go to. It was the closest to us. We'd go to Hollywood Video a lot.
Actually, a quick question: regarding Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, do you guys still owe fees from them?
Oh yeah, I still own I have a Blockbuster Video, like a DVD of Rent that I never returned.
I
actually
have a couple
borrowed
of
it.
Hollywood Video ones.
There we
It
go.
was
Oh yeah,
there were a couple of GameCube games. It was Mario Party 5 and Wario World. And before they shut down, I owed like $120.
oh
late
my
fee.
god.
And
Yeah,
then as soon as
mine-
they shut down, they're like, "Yeah, we don't want it. You can keep it." I'm like, "Oh, sweet."
I borrowed mine on an ex-boyfriend's account in high school. And at one point after high school, I had like moved away and everything. And he called me and he's like, look, can you please just return that? My dad's really mad because we owe so much to Blockbuster. And I was like,
Tough shit.
no.
Right.
No, it's
And I
fine.
never did. And then they closed. So it's fine. It's fine. And now I have a copy of Rent. So
There you go.
And
with the Blockbuster logo on it. So
I can just imagine everybody's like, I'm just gonna keep this. I owe you money. You can't even afford to stay open, much less a lawyer.
well, remember near the end when they were dying, they got rid of late fees.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
it was
were
in the
desperate.
the last Blockbuster documentary. Remember they talked about it screwed them so hard to get rid of late fees.
Yeah, because
it kinda
like
screwed 'em
nobody
over.
would return shit.
Yeah.
Also,
It was
'cause
just
like,
it was like steal from us. How about it?
Please,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like a no-win situation at the end for like Blockbuster. It was
Oh,
like a
no,
it's
yeah.
Like, hey, if you get rid of late fees, you'll get fucked over, but people aren't gonna return your shit. So it's like, it's a hard for them, and also because like they were dealing with Netflix, it was starting doing streaming and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and also because there was a lot of parts of Blockbuster where it's like, okay, why? It's like, why only 5 days and this much for the fee? I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. I think I took care of that mess.
Yeah.
Wait,
The
what?
comment- The comment.
The comment?
Yeah.
I blocked him.
Well, you blocked it on
blocked it.
here. I blocked it on YouTube
Okay.
because that's where it came from.
Yeah.
It did? Oh, okay. Let me go on
Which
there and
again, stay in school, kids, because that was some shit grammar.
Yeah, zero tolerance. We have a zero tolerance on that stuff. Just letting you know. We have no tolerance on that for that. Crap.
Well, I don't think they can see our chats, right?
No,
They
it says
can't see
Yeah,
it.
when
you
you
can't see
upload
it
them-
anymore.
I watched it whenever I watched on YouTube. I
Yeah,
couldn't
we
see the chats.
we actually put up the specific comments. Yeah, no,
So.
Some asshole room.
Do it. Trying to call some people out, and you know what? No, shit ain't gonna fly.
Okay, so what I did is that I put even if he does come back, because it's not giving me the block option, but what I did do is they can if they comment, it's no longer visible to anybody or the channel.
Cool beans.
And this is
Oh,
why
okay.
we changed the format. Like
Yeah.
last year, you could actually see the comments on the stream, like all the comments were
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
alongside us. Then we changed it to now where now we
Yes.
still see the comments and we actually get to pick and choose what appears on the screen, like this one.
Oh, okay. Oh, fun. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Especially GameCube.
Blast
Hey,
Stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
That era of during the Blockbuster, that era with the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, man, those were fun times.
Wait, I can't even say that. It's not even. We're not
Remember
gonna.
when you could rent like consoles and stuff too?
Yeah, but they require like $100 deposit for
Collateral
it.
and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the deposit was crazy. Yeah, I just remember friends it would be like a special occasion for like a birthday party or
Yeah.
something, or like a
Mhm.
sleepover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a YouTuber I look up. He was like a local Houston guy. He grew up in the 80s and 90s. He's told the story of how there was a certain electronic store that was actually renting out consoles. He was able to rent out the Japanese version of the N64 And like
What?
he was able to play like Mario 64 like months before it came out in the US.
Yeah, a lot of the games
That's
and DVDs were
awesome.
scratched
And
because
Oh.
nobody takes care of shit.
and also he told the story how when the PlayStation came out, apparently he ordered from that. You remember that store called Montgomery Ward?
Yeah.
So basically,
yeah.
he apparently like his dad was at that store and he actually bought it a week before it was supposed to come out. So basically, he got it early, like a week early than everyone else. So I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's like when I worked at Barnes and Noble and they told us like the last Harry Potter books were in the back and they're like, but no one can touch them. I was like,
That's how much of a big
and I
deal
just
it was.
know we were all like itching to go sell
Yeah.
them like so bad.
That
I worked at
happened
a
with
Barnes
us
and
at
Noble
GameStop.
too.
It happened at GameStop. We had Halo 3 because it was, we got it 5 days before it was supposed to be released.
Nice.
'Cause it
That's
was
a long
street dated.
time.
It was when
Mhm.
games are street dated, that means that the store will get it before
Yeah.
it's supposed to be put out. So we had it, and my manager's like, all right, give me the money, and everyone's gonna. So everyone just gives her cash to put it. Like we put it in an envelope because we couldn't ring them up yet.
Oh
We
yeah.
we took the Halo games home. She's like, whatever you do, just don't get online. Because the last thing I need is Microsoft being like, how'd you get the game? How'd you get the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regarding that stuff, even today, like there's a couple
Yeah.
of like GameStop. Apparently, there was like a policy a few years ago where like specifically like before, like nowadays, like most games can come out like, hey, we're doing a launch Thursday night at like 8 p.m. You know, come over here and pick up your game like around 8 or 10 o'clock. But for some reason, Nintendo did this thing. It was like, oh, it has to be midnight specifically. You cannot give out anybody until like midnight.
They did that with Resident Evil. Like, oh, you can't stream the game until midnight.
Yeah, that's what they
Wow.
were doing. That even with Kingdom Hearts, when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, they're like, all right, you can't stream it until like a day, like a couple of days after. I'm like, okay,
Right. Yeah. So, but with GameStop, we so here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. So if a store breaks a street date, they actually have to pay a hefty fine.
Mhm.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I heard about
Walmart broke that shit all the damn time.
Oh,
know,
because they
'cause
can
it-
afford it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they
That.
released a wrestling game like a week before it was supposed to actually come out because they had it already in stock.
that. What was it?
So they start selling it. It was WWE SmackDown versus, I think it was SmackDown versus Raw 2007 or 8.
Oh yeah, it was probably 07 because the Xbox 360 one came out first, then the PS2 one.
Well, like I think it was 8, honestly. Oh, it was 7 because that's when I was working for GameStop. And people were coming in there canceling their I already got the game at Walmart. They were having it out and they were canceling. And our numbers are based on how many games or items we can get you to pre-order and how many GameStop card subscriptions we can sell.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't get commission. Like the better we do, like the more hours we'll get. So we're literally competing for hours.
Okay.
So like, but we got paid minimum wage and that shit blowed, and we were working like a salesman.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah,
that
but-
at Barnes and Noble with the cards, the memberships. Oh my
they
god.
made y'all do that shit too.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
They still ask that today.
Yeah, they do.
My stint was during the 50 Shades stuff, so that
my
was
God. I worked there.
that was a lot of fun.
I was 17. It was I already said how old I am. It was in 2006. And like I've worked there for like a year, and yeah, like I said, our big one was like the Harry Potter thing. Oh my god, like it was people were like would come in and just like ask us to like set aside one, and it was like I literally am not allowed in the back room right now. I think they like changed the code to the back room, so like us like little like peasants couldn't get back there anymore, and like it was such a big deal. Oh my god.
Okay, so Blastoids, I'm confused with your question.
Yeah, what are you talking about, bro?
We have a guest today, Shelby Scott, who was reading us bedtime stories and making us shit our pants.
Yeah, that's our title. Shelby Scott reads us a bedtime story.
Yeah, that's literally our title.
It's
Season 3, episode 26.
6.
Blastoids joining us. Blastoids, we can talk shit about. Speaking of which, for those of you that don't know, OniCon is this weekend.
Okay.
October 30th and the 31st. It is a 2-day weekend. For
right,
those
yeah.
of you that don't know, They will be open all day on Sunday. They will be open late Sunday to make up for the fact that they're not going to be on Friday. It is a 2-day convention, just like Comic Palooza. But unlike Comic Palooza, they will be staying open late on Sunday. Comic Palooza is still closed early on Sunday. You can still get your badges for OniCon in Galveston, Texas at OniCon, oni-con.org.
I don't know.
I believe is the
Yes, I
website.
believe so. It's probably org.
Okay.
Yeah, because if
Cool.
you type in onicon.com, it takes you somewhere else. It's not porn, if that's what you were hoping for, but somewhere else.
You go to penisland.com.
There you go. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to our guest for a little bit. Why scare you to sleep?
Well, I had I know a lot of people who go to sleep to podcasts and things, and I never could because I am a really light sleeper, and every like loud noise would wake me up. But I also love horror, so I was like, what if I do like a horror show specifically for sleeping? And I know I have gone outside of that, and I've added screams or squishy noises, but sometimes it's art over, you know?
Right.
I can't help it. But yeah, that's basically how it came about, was like I really wanted to do some sort of, like, I was reading a bedtime story. Plus I had a story highlighted on the No Sleep podcast that they did. And after that, I was submitting more to them, and they were saying no to every single one, which is their prerogative. That's fine. But they said no to all of the others. And so I was like, these are good stories. What do I do with them? And I was like, I guess I could start a podcast and just have my own stories. And I had the dumbest idea at the time. I want to be, and I still do. I want to write a book someday, and I want to do like a
I will buy it. I'll be the first one to
collection
buy
of all
it.
my stories. And I was like, what if I could like send this to publishers where I was reading my own stories? I know this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, that's not how anything works. But at the time I thought it was a great idea. But so I was like, I'm just going to like read my own stories since No Sleep doesn't want me. And again, their prerogative. They don't have to have my stories on the show. No hard feelings. But yeah, that's kind of how it came about, was between, I wanted something people could sleep to, but it was more niche, like horror at the time. Now it's not as weird. I've seen a lot more horror sleep shows pop up since I've come around. I'm not saying anyone stole my idea, but I've noticed more of them. And at the time it was more sleep shows were more just like meditation, whale noises and stuff. And so yeah. Yeah.
What?
I with the fan fiction that we do with the terrible, because we did it last year, so every Friday I would live stream me reading the shitty fan fiction.
It wasn't every
But
Friday.
I would have like a little fireplace right there, making it all serious, like, hello and welcome to terrible fan fiction.
Yeah.
And then I'll be reading it like goofic. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm giving commentary. Like, I gotta stop reading this shit. There was one that was really bad that we read at Etchy Expo, and I kind of want to do like a stream of it. It was about Mordecai and Rigby from the regular show.
Oh my god.
And they have a crossover with Drake and Josh, and apparently they are gay lovers. The story literally starts off with, it's a beautiful cock-sucking morning, a dick-sucking morning. And every sentence has the word dick in it. Like, I am not exaggerating.
That's amazing.
And it's so bad. Like, I legitimately had to stop. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. I'm never gonna. I'm not gonna. I was like, thanks to the asshole that recommended this story, I'm gonna have to eat my hot dogs with knives and forks now, like an asshole.
We have a question for our guest in the comments.
But are your stories slow burn? Like, let's get nasty 2 chapters in?
I mean, they're not really chapters. I write short stories at the moment. So they're, I don't know, Rachel or SJ, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
What would you say? I think it'd be better if someone else describe. I don't know. Are they slow burn?
Frosting was a slow burn. It didn't get like crazy until like towards the end.
That's true. Yeah. I think they're all kind of different.
Yeah, they're all kind of different. I want to say.
What do you mean by slow burn?
Like, it takes a bit. Yeah, it takes a little bit to get to it. First, you're just.
Yeah.
Frosting was a really great like Karen story. I was like, I hate this already, because I can just imagine this person is for real, because we've already seen the videos of this person being for
Yeah.
real. And then you get to the climax and I was like, oh, we took that turn. Yes. Yes. I was so happy for that.
I think they really depend, because then there's like the one, like I said, where the orphans are being butchered is not a slow burn at all.
It's not a slow burn, but it's also. But did you write that one? I don't remember you saying you read. Oh, I forgot that, but I do love it. I want to say the Charm Man wasn't necessarily a slow burn. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, Charred Man is the one that was on. Charred Man is the one that was on No Sleep. It was the original title was.
That's right.
The Diary of a Woman with Cataplexy. The Terrifying Diary of a Woman with Cataplexy. It was such a mouthful, so I changed it for my show.
I liked it.
But yeah, that's the one that was on No Sleep. Cosmic Horror, not so far, really.
But you did have that one story. That wasn't your story, though. You did have like that one story about the aliens.
Yeah.
Which was really good.
That was a really good one. That's the thing. The show isn't just my stories. It's mostly other people's stories. I come in every once in a while with one I've written. Nowadays, it's mostly other people's stories. And it's
like 5 years, I think.
3 years. A little over 3 years.
No, not years. 5 of your stories, because it's O'Mail Swamp Tour,
which I love. Limes.
That one's kind of a slow burn. Man. Oh, right. Limes. That one was weird. I actually smelled those limes for a while. I was like...
That's how you know. That's how you know SJ's getting super excited. She's like,
yeah.
I think I've had 7 on the show. 7.
I gotta listen to everything all over again just to find your story.
Do it,
because it was O'Mail Swamp Tour, Limes, the Orphan Story, which I can't remember the name of right now.
I can't either.
Nuclear Flight, God Will Provide, Frosting. What was the other one? I just
Charred Man.
Charred Man. Yeah, 7.
Mm-hmm. That's 7. All right, there we go. Almost 2 handfuls.
I kind of want to work on my story some more. The actual name of my story is called Project Angel.
Nice. Ooh. I like it. I want to read it, but I like reading. What's the other one? Oh, my other favorite one. My other like 2 main favorite ones is Demons Like Pie 2.
Oh yeah, everyone loves that one, and I get that. Everyone asks me about the sequel to that one, and I'm like, she just stopped. The author just stopped writing. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the demons took her back. They were like, "You're giving away too many of our secrets."
Maybe it ended.
We like pies,
but everybody loves pie. That's not fair.
It's true. And then the other one was, I don't want to make you sad, but the one about the puppy named Pumpkin. Remember that one?
Oh yeah,
that was such a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a tear jerker. Oof. Yeah, I used to. There was a time there. I don't know if I was going through something or what. I had quite a run there where I had a lot of like sad horror on the show.
It was
an
interesting turn. I was like, "What is happening here?" I felt it too.
Yeah.
I have another question for you.
You listen to the podcast.
Yeah, they're on the podcast. I used to have them on No Sleep, like O'Mail Swamp Tour, Charred Man, which again on the No Sleep subreddit, it was Terrifying Diary of a Woman with Cataplexy and Limes, I believe. All 3 of those are on Reddit under my old username. If you look up O'Mail Swamp Tour, you can find that one, and the Cataplexy one. But that was a long time ago. The rest of them I've only had on the show, and I haven't published anywhere.
I thought that was like a legit place for a while there. I was like, I want to go on the swamp tour. I want to get taken. I
just had someone tweet at me because I made some of my merch is shirts that say the O'Mail Swamp Tour departing at sunset every day. And someone tweeted at me and said that someone asked her like, "Oh, how was the tour?" And she was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, your shirt. And she was like, "Oh, it's not real."
Speaking of, when are you going to have more merch? Because I want that damn shirt.
Oh God, I've been waiting for this exclusivity deal to end. To be honest, that's the exclusivity deal was supposed to end a month ago, and some things came up with the new show Mediums that I had to finish up. So I've just kind of been like waiting on stuff like that to wrap up so I can get into a new mode. And honestly, because of the exclusivity deal, I had to have an episode. I have not missed a week in over a year. I haven't had a week off in over a year. And so I'm exhausted, and I haven't, because before I would take a hiatus week to just kind of like regather, and like think of new ideas and do stuff like that. And I just have not had that. And like I said, in over a year. And so that's why actually next week, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the week off because I just haven't had one off in a while to like figure some stuff out. Like I said, I want to branch out. I want to branch out to YouTube and maybe streaming. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm very good on streaming, and I'm not trying to like be like, tell me I am. I really just don't know if I feel comfortable in streaming like for
Streaming
myself.
live is a little bit more stressful because
It is, yeah. And like this in a group, I'm totally fine. But just me, I don't know if it's for me, but I want to branch into YouTube and do an actual whole ASMR channel that's just ASMR for people who like my ASMR stuff and do some more stuff. Like I said, I was telling Andy Tate earlier, I have an idea for him, and like, yeah.
I like that idea, Blastoise. That's a great idea.
I mean, we'll see. Geeks, however, we have so much. We have a couple new projects going on. We have 2 videos on our TikTok channel now. Yes. So we're gonna start doing stuff with TikTok, and we are going to start doing non-con related stuff from now on. Especially with me trying to find a job because I'm tired of being poor.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if we ever go to Cali or anything.
Because these guys don't like to talk. These guys don't like to talk to me about horror stuff. I'm like, I want to talk about spooky things. And they're like, no.
No, that's not true. Like, first off, you're assuming I'm in the group chat, which I'm like hardly ever in there.
No, but remember, this was like last year when I first came on. I was like, let's talk about like paranormal things. And you're like, that's
spooky dooky stuff.
Yeah.
No, that's because you wanted to.
It's controversial.
So here's the thing, and I will explain this because I feel like I have to explain this every time. She wants to start talking about horror shit. As soon as October kicks in, she's like, let's talk about horror stuff. And I'm like, we can't, because it's still Hispanic Heritage Month.
Not wrong.
You can still celebrate. You can still do spooky stuff during here. So
and Hispanics don't do well with cuckoo and La Llorona. That's what. Because every time we buy a house, one of the rooms is haunted.
Yeah, that's how it works. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, did you move here with us too?
Yeah, I think.
My first 2 houses had activity in it. I won't say haunted, but they had activity.
Man, but we're too poor. Like, I've seen something like, honestly, when I had my Power Ranger wall, one of the figures flew off the wall.
Nice.
It just launched itself in the distance. And I was like, you know what? I'm too poor to move.
I feel that. I used to live in this studio in Koreatown, like in LA. And it was like built in like when LA first was built, and I had a bottle of olive oil fly off the top of my fridge one time and shatter. And it was after I had discovered like it had cabinets in the kitchen area, like the area, it was a studio, so it wasn't like a kitchen, but and I noticed one of them had like a really thick door, and I started chipping the paint away because I was young and didn't care. And it turned out it was actually like a fridge, like not a fridge. It was like an ice whatever from like the 1920s. And I was like, oh, cool. So it's an old building with old shit in it still. Like, and this, whatever this was like, what the fuck is this olive oil? Get out of my life. Like, you know, it was a creepy apartment. I saw a bunch of weird shit there.
I'll talk to cryptids with tall Wendigo is a distant relative to the Chupacabra. No, like for real, location and characteristics fall into place.
He meant to say y'all. He's like, I'll talk cryptids with y'all. Let's do it. I'm in.
The Chupacabra, the Wendigo is more of a snowy climate area, mountain area, where the Chupacabra is just a dog without hair that likes to suck on goat blood.
A Wendigo is also Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Wendigos are more. It's Native American, but that still doesn't mean it can't be from like the snowy areas up north.
Well, no. That's not what I mean. I just mean like Chupacabra. I know is more like Mexican Hispanic.
It's more the actual lore behind Chupacabra is it could be like something that was affected by radioactivity.
Ooh. I didn't hear that theory. I like it.
Because
that's one thing. I'm not very good at cryptids. I'm getting better, but cryptids are still not my forte.
Like here's a horror. So this was on one of the YouTube shorts. Because I don't know why I can't sit here and watch TikTok, but I'll watch the TikTok videos on YouTube. And it was a story. Apparently, it's a true story. There was a teacher that would talk to the janitor. She would stay late, work late. Mm-hmm. She would walk outside and she saw the janitor. And for like a week, she talked to him. They were talking, and then like finally, the principal came to her and was like, "Are you okay?" You need me to call the police? Is everything okay? Are you fine? So yeah, what's going on? So it turns out that the guy that she was talking to wasn't a janitor. It was a serial killer on the loose, and he had been living in the ceiling of the school and didn't know somebody was there that late. And this actually, I think this was a real, like an actual thing that had happened.
Yeah.
I think they caught him, but apparently he was living in the ceiling and she was talking to him. And it was so fucking crazy. Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I'm pretty sure there's more scary details to it, but the fucking fact that there's somebody living in the ceiling with rats and
people
roaches
living
is
in your
scary enough for
walls.
me.
Those stories are so scary. Where people are like missing food from their houses and they find out it's because someone's like in their attic.
Oh, I just saw like a few videos of that on Facebook because I always do that and I watch like Karen videos. But then there's that one random like, here's the weird things you didn't know were in your house. What is it, like reaction time or something? And they're like, what? This chick was in his house. You can watch him from the security camera.
Yeah, that one's creepy. Where she like comes out of the cat. Yeah.
And I get paranoid very easily. So I'm like, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say this. I'm home alone. And
and you know where you live?
True. And so I'm always like, since I have to leave the door open for my cat, I'm always like paranoid of something like walking up the stairs because my old room faces the stairs and there's an attic right above it. And I'm like, if that fucking thing opens, if something comes up, I am not prepared to jump down from the second story building. I'm not ready for this. I did not train for this.
Nah, fuck it. I live in a house, but if somebody broke in, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It was a good life.
Like, take me now.
Let's just go. Make it quick. All right. With that being said, since SJ, remember, don't advertise. The holiday season is coming up. Don't advertise that you are leaving your house or you're home
be
alone.
smart. Don't be me.
And especially on the internet, you have IP addresses and people can track you. And one way you can protect yourself from being tracked is with ExpressVPN. Lets people think you're in other places.
Yes.
Like right now, on my phone, I'm in New York.
Fun.
Nice.
In Texas.
Good for your phone.
It was like Goku.
Paris, Texas.
Except in my household, someone's always home. So, like, I mean, good luck. When we're poor anyway. Stay away from my Dragon Ball stuff.
What Dragon Ball stuff?
What y'all talking about?
All those Barbie dolls back there.
Stay away from my box of Capri Suns.
That too.
I mean, from a distance, they did look like Capri Sun boxes. Or juice boxes.
All right, so
yeah.
Any last questions? Shelby Scott needs to make a horror story of a shadow hand that pulls your leg at night.
Ooh, that's an option.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do have a guided nightmare that's a lot like that, and I also Charred Man is not dissimilar to that. So yeah.
One of the stories that affects. So I have my main book that I'm writing, but there are other side stories that kind of connect to it. One of them is about these superheroes that are being held captive and they have to try to escape from this prison, and they're being held by the villains. But like the main hero starts becoming more aggressive and starts losing his shit more and more as time progresses. And like he ends up killing like the guy that saves him.
Damn.
I won't say why. Him killing his friend is not a big spoiler, but I'm not gonna say why he did it. But it's like this whole it's like, oh shit, like why? And then you figure out why, and it's like,
it was nice meeting you too.
Oh yeah, he's at work. He's watching us while doing absolutely nothing at work. He brags about it. Are you shitting me?
I like it.
All right. Well, no, but any last questions for our guests before we go ahead and call it a day?
You want to
I know we went over by 15 minutes. We started late and we went over.
Yeah, we're allowed. How many more episodes of Mediums do we have? Because I think I heard you say that it's a limited time show.
It is. This was 6, so 2 more. Yeah. Okay. And the next episode's my favorite. It's about Hellish Nell. Ooh. She's one of my favorite people from history. She was like the only person it was during World War II. She was arrested as a witch, like actually arrested for being a witch. And like, that's way too modern to be arrested for being a witch.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, it's a really good episode.
And then can you tell us about your upcoming, it's this Friday it drops, your next episode of Scare You to Sleep, right?
Yeah, it actually, it's so funny. Everyone always says it comes out Friday, but it does because I'm on the West Coast and I drop it really late Thursday nights. So I'm always like, it comes out Thursdays, but it does it though for most of us. So a lot of people are like, yeah, I love it every Friday. And I'm like, it comes out Thursdays though.
Time
Shelby
zone
does it though. Yeah. And plus I have ADHD and it takes me a long time to put them out. But yeah, it will come out Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Friday.
Awesome.
I'm trying. Yeah, I don't want to say too much about it because there's still some stuff up the air about it. Because it's the Halloween episode. Since it's coming out, next week. I won't have an episode before Halloween. So yeah, and it's my last exclusive episode.
Yay to be freedom.
I'm happy for you. I was really happy to all of a sudden, I was downloading it on my Apple Podcast and all of a sudden it stopped downloading. I was like, what happened? And then I finally caught up and you were like, oh, Spotify. I was like, dang, okay, fine.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty excited to be back on everything again. It's probably gonna take a little bit. From what I've heard, it takes a little while to get back on all the platforms because you have to be reaccepted by everything. So we'll see how long it takes. I'm hoping it's only gonna take maybe a couple weeks.
Right.
Hopefully tops, because I'm just really excited to get back. That's what I'm gonna do next week with my week off is make sure all that shit goes smoothly.
There you go. Well, it sounds good. I'm so happy for you, Shelby. Yay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for
coming.
Thank you for being on here. It's been a while since we had a guest.
It is.
Actually, we there was last month we actually had, with everything that's been going on lately and a lot of the stuff, we just haven't had a podcast recently, and with all of our schedules and changing, people are now our audience. So we had a good amount of people in every time we take time off, our audience suffers big time. And so we went from having a good amount of people to there are some shows where nobody will watch it live, but after the show's over, they'll watch it.
Oh yeah.
We tape a show and then they'll watch the archives and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll watch they'll watch the replay. And it's been crazy because we do take our season's about to end. I think it's the second weekend of December. I think we're calling it. It's going to be the season finale because we take a break for the holidays. We won't come back until 2 weeks after New Year's. We take Thanksgiving off, and also for those of you that don't know, on Sunday I will be live streaming Luigi's Mansion on here.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you don't,
I love that game.
If you're home during while everyone's trick or treating or out partying, you can
watch this.
Not on a Sunday. People got to work on Monday. They might go out and party.
Yeah, you say that, but a lot of people are still gonna go out anyway.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be too hungover from the weekend as it is. I can't drink on Sunday. but thank you so much for coming on here. Your stuff is really interesting. I definitely want to check it out, and you definitely inspired me to work on my stuff and bring back my terrible fan fiction stuff, because there are some horrible fan fictions too where they're so easy to read because they're actually properly written, but just for an example, one of them is about SpongeBob hooking up with Bill Clinton, and nobody questions how this man is underwater. I was like,
I think that's a great way to end a show too. Let everyone know, put that into everyone's brain so we all know that's in the world now.
Absolutely, that's right. If you thought Bill Clinton was bad when he was president, you should read a story where he gives it to a sponge.
I love you, Sponge.
I love you, SpongeBob. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Look at SJ over there. She's dying.
All right. Yeah, she's losing her shit.
Shelby, do you want to take us out? How you take us out in your shows all the time?
Do you want me to?
I mean, you can, yeah. But...
okay. Yeah. So remember to go drink some water. Wait. Oh my God. I forgot my own outro. I've done it for 3 years.
I love
Go drink water. Go get some sleep and sweet dreams.
We had the echo effect and everything. I'm all tingly now.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can have you back on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially after your show's no longer exclusive. And we can have I forgot his name.
Jace.
Tate.
Andrew. We need to
Andrew.
have Andrew Tate on. I'm also trying to talk.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to talk to Sapphire, but Sapphire hasn't returned my messages yet.
We'll have
Sapphire
everybody
is
on here
very
and we'll
busy.
just talk
Sapphire-
about
Sapphire's
very
on
busy.
TV, so
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
she's very fancy.
I always think about that. I'm like, whenever I'm just like, she's on TV.
she
She's on
is.
TV.
She is.
we tried to get the voice actor of Bender on here, but he was busy.
John DiMaggio.
Oh yeah, Billy.
No, John DiMaggio.
No, John DiMaggio.
Oh, John
Yeah, Billy
DiMaggio.
West. That's Fry.
Billy West is
Yeah.
Fry.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap
right,
it up.
thank
If you
you so
haven't
much.
already,
Oh,
thank you
for
so much.
coming.
Hey guys, if you haven't already, follow us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and make sure you check us out on TikTok as well, Instagram. We'll see everybody on Sunday. Remember, Sunday at 7 or 8 o'clock p.m. We'll go live. You'll get a notification. All right,
And
guys,
also-
we'll see everybody. What's up?
Oh, just want to say happy Halloween for those who are going out trick or treating. Stay safe. We're out partying this weekend. Stay safe. Be careful.
That's right. Go get some candy. Go get some fruit candy. No, trust me, nobody's gonna stick edibles in your candy. That shit ain't cheap.
And also,
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
if you don't want any candy this
Sweet
weekend,
dreams.
just wait until Monday because they'll all be on clearance.
Yeah, clearance. All right, guys. Peace.
Bye.
See you guys later.